All right, everybody, we are live. Sophia's fingers are in my shot, but that's okay. We'll forgive her. She's only a film producer. She doesn't know better at all. Everybody, welcome to Live from Tech Alley at Downtown Tech Alley in downtown Las Vegas. We are at 3rd Street, Vegas. Ironically enough, located on 3rd Street in Las Vegas. So if you're interested in tech, if you're interested in crypto, if you're interested in startups, if you're interested in entrepreneurship, if you're interested in drones, come on down and join us at 3rd Street Vegas in downtown Las Vegas. Get to meet all the amazing people here, see the talks, have a free lunch on Taverna Costera. All you got to do is get down here and get registered for Tech Alley. I know we've got a number of people waiting to get into the stream today, so I'm going to save the rundown of what's happening today. We're going to get our good friend James Ritchie on the stream right now to tell us about an event he's got coming up this Tuesday. It's the long anticipated JewelFit grand opening of their new location. So we're going to bring James Ritchie on, going to talk all about his event coming up. Then we've got a bunch of other people we're going to bring on. Lots of amazing events coming up in both the tech ecosystem and the business community here in Las Vegas. So everybody, please welcome James Ritchie, founder of JewelFit, among other achievements in life. How have you been?
Great. Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. It's always great to have you on. Congratulations on opening the new location. The grand opening is Tuesday. Tell us all about what we can expect.
We're having the grand opening on 950 South Durango. Please come and you're going to see all the city officials. We're going to do the official ribbon cutting, and then you can actually try the machines.
Yeah, so get on down there, try that. Give us the quick rundown, because there might be people watching who don't know. What is JewelFit? Tell me how I do it in 2 15-minute workouts a week.
JewelFit is robotic fitness. We have a 5-machine automated circuit using AI and robotic actuators to take your body to failure in less than 15 minutes. So essentially what we're doing is we're replacing your 8 hours in the gym a week with 2 15-minute sessions that are more effective.
That's it. Don't do more. Don't show up for a third session, because it will not help you. It will actually hurt you.
Yes, and we've got the data to show you that.
That's right. You do. What are you excited about in the new location?
We're excited to start bringing the community in.
Yeah.
And obviously it helps with the next phase. We're looking to build the new location within about 8 months.
Okay, cool. Still in Las Vegas?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So, for the folks who've been to there've been a number of locations. The most recent one before this was at Blackfire. What's better about this? What's really going to improve the experience for everybody when they come in and see the new place?
Yeah, Blackfire was a test facility. UNLV has a master lease there. It was great for a demo, but we couldn't actually sell subscriptions there. So everyone that came through there, it was about the data. Now we're actually going to the public. We've also got recovery. We've got hyperbaric chambers. We've got saunas. We'll be adding more recovery units as we go.
Yep. So it's not just about the workout. That's great. That's what that's what you show up for, but you stay for the recovery options, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Anything else you want to tell us before we let you get out of here? I know you've got places to be today.
No, we're excited to be opening here in Las Vegas, and obviously I hope you can attend on Tuesday.
I'm going to try. Yeah.
Love to have you there.
All right. Tell us one more time. It's JewelFit grand opening on March 24th at 4.
It starts at 4 p.m.
4
It'll
p.m.
go to 8 p.m.
And one more time, the address.
950 South Durango. And also, if you go to JewelFit, JOULEFIT.ai, you can schedule a free session.
Yep, absolutely. All right. Well, James, good luck. We'll see you Tuesday.
Thank you. Always good to see you.
Have a great day. All right. How does it look? Okay. That's probably just a function of the. Yeah, that sometimes happens because we're on the 4G, 5G, so we're competing with, we're the only thing on that router, but we're competing with all the other 4G and 5G in the what you can try to do, which might help a little bit, is to pull the router over to the other table. But you'll probably need to put an extension cord on it because the power won't run that far. Or Sophia, if you want, you can unplug it. It'll run on a battery. Yep, leave the internet cable in it, and then just plug it into that plug strip that's on the yeah. Just, you may still need an extension cord for it, but that might work a little better. Just get it into the far field of the Wi-Fi antenna. instead of right up next to the computer. Yeah, this is why I'm thinking about getting a Starlink, because we won't have to compete with everybody's phone on 5G in the area. Yep, that should work great. All right. Yep. Is it looking good on your end, Dave? It's what? Yeah, it's just that's dealing with wireless signals. So it's we're just competing with everybody's phone in here at the moment. So is Alan around? All right. Well, we're still working on trying to bring you the best picture and sound as possible, and we're just waiting for Alan. He's going to come on. Alan Fan is going to be our next guest, and he's going to tell us all about the Youth Entrepreneur Summit. So while he's getting ready, are we ready? Okay, cool. Jason. All right, here, let's put that right up here. Have we got the right? Yeah, there we go. Cool,
there we
awesome.
Go.
We'll move that out of the way. Is this showing up on the screen, Sophia? Okay, cool. Yeah. Oh no, it looks awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right, Alan Fan, welcome. Welcome to.
Thank you.
Is this your first Tech Alley?
This is my first Tech Alley.
Welcome. What do you think so far?
Very cool. I love the community. I love the fact that everyone's getting along, networking, that sort of thing. I think community is huge. Like, we're missing that these days. So
yeah,
something like this is very necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. Josh does a great job starting from the very beginning to make sure it was about bringing people together in the community. Yes, the tech talks are important. Yes, lunch is important, all that kind of stuff. But he does a really good job bringing together the people in the community. I think that's what really makes Tech Alley special, both here in downtown Las Vegas and in Henderson, is that the people come to see the other people, not just to do the tech parts of it.
Exactly. Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, so I'm excited to talk about Youth Entrepreneur Summit today here.
Tell us all about it.
So last year we hosted over 60 kids, teaching them more about the entrepreneurial skills that we're unfortunately missing in schools. You know, I don't know why they're not teaching us financial literacy, communication skills. How about emotional awareness or resilience at the very least? So sharing these skills through entrepreneurship. We love entrepreneurship as a vehicle because it's such a great vehicle, such as life, right? It very matches a lot of things in life. So being able to give these youth these skills allows them to have better confidence and more abilities to be able to make their own decisions on their own when they become adults themselves.
Yeah, certainly the skill set of entrepreneurship, and I'll tell you, as someone who has an MBA, they don't teach this in business school either. So it's not like young kids are losing out and adults are getting all of this. They don't teach it in business school either. So
right.
It's it's a very valuable skill set, even if you decide not to be an entrepreneur.
Absolutely. And the one thing I didn't realize, I knew that these skills are very important as an entrepreneur myself, my co-founder as well. However, what we didn't realize was the confidence that these kids walked out with after the fact. Just 4 days, they went through the event, and when they went through the event afterwards, we asked them, interviewed them. Parents would be telling us, man, this is a completely different person now. They could barely talk at the dinner table. Now they're looking for opportunities to public speak, MC events, that sort of thing. So the confidence was one of the byproducts. We weren't even aware that that was going to happen.
Tell us, what were some of the success stories of last year's Youth Entrepreneur Summit?
Well, our pitch winner, really funny story is she came in day one, and Youth Entrepreneur Summit is very high energy. So we bring that Tony Robbins-esque energy level to the event. We got the DJ going there, and we really believe that you need to have that high energy to get that information stuck into your brain. So day one, she comes and she goes, Dad, this is too much. This is so much high energy. Like, they got me dancing and all this sort of stuff. I don't know if I want to go back for day two, right? And they email us and let us know, it's kind of a lot for them. And go, don't worry, she'll get used to it. And she stuck around, thankfully. Day four, she pitched. She actually won our pitch event, walked home with $2,000 of seed money, put it towards her business that she was doing. She was doing these these sweaters that kind of give personal messages and that sort of thing. And she found a new vendor after the event with the $2,000. She bought more merchandise. She sold 80% of her merchandise before she even got it. So her dad was just like, man, she's on fire right now.
Well, that's fantastic. So your winner went off, took what she worked on in Youth Entrepreneur Summit, turned that into a business. How many businesses do you think came out of Youth Entrepreneur Summit last year?
You know, we don't know the exact number because a lot of them, like the kids were just starting out. They didn't even know what a business was, right? But the
Most
best-
entrepreneurs don't. So.
Exactly. But the best part is that they all walked out with a business plan. They all walked out with a pitch. They all pitched at least each other, all of their own peers, and then they got voted up to pitch in front of the entrepreneurs. That's how we picked our 6 pitches.
Okay, cool. Well, so it sounds like a bunch of businesses got started out of that, or at least or had the potential. So if you aren't sure what your retirement plan is going to be, and you've got kids, and you're in Las Vegas, get them over to Youth Entrepreneur Summit. That might be better than your 401k right now. So
Absolutely. Yeah. This is one of the best investments that you can put into your youth.
Absolutely.
For sure. June 8th to 11th, we're at Discovery Children's Museum.
okay.
All right.
Right, tell us if you don't have to run. I don't want to
No,
keep you any
not at
longer,
all.
but as long as you've got time,
Absolutely.
Tell us what the kids can expect attending Youth Entrepreneur Summit. Tell us what the parents can expect to hear about when the kids come home every day. Besides, it's a lot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I was saying before, they're learning about financial literacy. What's a P&L sheet, right? Just basics. Starting them off. Numbers don't lie, right? If you don't know your numbers, you don't know the health of your business. Communication skills, just basic stuff. Like you talking about nonverbal communication, how to use a pause, how to use tone, how to use volume. These sorts of communication skills we're not learning even as adults, unfortunately. And then I think one of the most important things is emotional awareness. If you don't have emotional awareness, at least where you are day to day emotionally, how are you supposed to be able, you can have all the money in the world, you can have all the contacts in the world, you can have all the skills in the world. But if you can't emotionally regulate yourself, you're really starting out at a handicap. So those are the things that we learn. And as well, just like Tech Alley here, there's a free lunch every day that they get. We have great vendors that come in and support us for that. So we had one of the best sushi chefs in the town bring in Omaze Kiara. So he brought in sushi. The kids went wild about it. And yeah, that's what they can expect.
Your kids will get for 4 lunches in a week this summer.
Yeah.
You can't afford not to get your kids into this, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So, how can people get their kids into this?
Well, come to our website, yeshq.org. Okay, yeshq.org. That's
Okay.
where we are. And if you are a parent of a teen, obviously you got to get your teen there. But you're also an entrepreneur and you want to come in and support us, be a volunteer. We had 18 entrepreneur industries in the room. And one of the cool parts I loved about our event was that we had this entrepreneurial roundtable. We had all these different industries in the room. So these youth were able to go up and talk to every one of these entrepreneurs. We had from health to e-commerce to finance to I'm in real estate. We even had a poker player in the room, right? So just to give them perspective on what different industries really are, instead of just having a theoretical idea of what the medical industry is. You're actually going to talk to a real entrepreneur that's in the room.
That's fantastic. And then some of those entrepreneurs were part of your entrepreneur panel for the final pitch.
Correct. Exactly. Yeah. So we had some entrepreneurs that exited 8-figure companies, real big, like even the adults were like, wow, I need to listen in on this, right? Not just the youth, right?
I will knock a bunch of people over to get at the front of the line to go listen to an exited entrepreneur.
Exactly.
Right. It's whether I agree with them or not, whether I like them or not, exited founders have a ton to say and a ton to learn from. So
just perspective, right? A lot of perspective.
Yeah.
You're gaining a lot of perspective by going through and talking to all these people. Hopefully that's what we're able to bring for those youth is perspective, right? Not just what your academic is supposed to be or what you're learning in school or what you think your path really is. There's just many, many different paths.
So the kids, they spend the first couple days working on these emotional skills, on the learning the numbers, all the business skills, right? The skills every entrepreneur needs. And then they start to build a business plan, and then they get into then they pitch each other. And then how are the kids selected to go on to the next round of pitching?
So they're selected by their peers and by the mentors.
Okay.
So when they are pitching each other, they're graded by their peers and they're graded by the mentors, and then they get voted up So there was 6 teams last year. We'll probably have closer to 10 teams this year. And each team voted up one person to go pitch in front of the entrepreneurs.
Okay.
Like a Shark Tank event. Yeah.
Yeah, so they're getting feedback along the way on their businesses. It's not just, hey, we're sitting down, we're doing some stuff on paper, we're doing some stuff on laptops, and then Friday comes along and they go, okay, good luck.
Yes.
They've gotten feedback from each other, and then on the last day they had feedback from entrepreneurs
Correct.
on their businesses. So
Absolutely.
and then there's prizes.
There's actual prize. So last year we handed out over $6,000 worth of seed money and prizes. So it was real money on the line. The pitch winner went home with $2,000 worth of seed money.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So you are getting kids signed up. You're looking for mentors. How about sponsors? You looking for sponsors right now?
Sponsors as well, absolutely. We can always get support. And this isn't just a 4-day event any longer. So we've also partnered with Junior Achievement. So we have a e-hub, entrepreneurial hub there, and we will be able to support youth after the event as well. So if maybe you didn't get to pitch in front of the entrepreneurs, maybe your idea wasn't fully formed yet, let's continue that education. Let's not stop. It doesn't end after 4 days. You got to keep that rolling. You got to stay in the environment, stay in proximity with the people that are, going for it still, really hustling for it. And we want people that are hungry.
Awesome. So how can somebody who's watching, how can they get involved? How can they help out?
Well, if you're an entrepreneur and somebody who really wants to serve the community and give back, we'd love to have you there. We have a volunteer section on our website, so yeshq.org. Go there, go to our volunteer section. If you'd like to sponsor a youth, there's an option to sponsor a youth there as well. Same thing, donate. If you would like to be a title sponsor for us, we're still looking for a title sponsor. So somebody that can really showcase on the event, that would be there as well.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
So, anything else you want to leave us with about the event before we let you get on with your day?
I think one of the things I realized is that in school, I kind of messed around, didn't really learn that much. And just through this 4-day event, I think your youth can learn so much more, and the exposure that they're getting to all these business owners, business industries, people in the room, it's just like no other. And then hopefully that sparks a partnership or a connection for them in some way that grows into much, much more.
Yeah, I think that's really one of the most valuable pieces of what you're doing is you're getting these kids together. You're getting them interacting with each other. You're getting them interacting with other entrepreneurs, adults as well. Much like what we're doing here at Tech Alley, the interactions are the part that are really going to help people move their businesses and move their events and move their ideas forward. Yes, it's great to come listen to Tech Talks. Yes, it's great to be in an auditorium and learn some things, but those interactions are really what's going to serve these kids going forward.
Yeah. And my dream is that, they're 13 to 18 right now, very grassroots stuff. But hopefully 5, 10, 15 years down the road, some kid that came through our event, they go, you know what? Wow, now they're an exiting $100 million CEO or something like that. And they get up on our stage and they tell the kids that are sitting down, I was in your seat. I didn't know what I was doing when I was 13, 14 at all. I had no idea. And my path changed 8 different times along the way to get to who you see right now, right? So that would be my dream.
Awesome. Well, all right. Well, look at that camera. Tell everybody where they can find Youth Entrepreneur Summit, how they can get the kids signed up, how they can reach you, anything else, the dates again, the location again, anything else they need to know.
Absolutely. So you can reach us at yeshq.org. We're going to be at the Discovery Children's Museum, June 8th to 11th. And we hope to see you there.
Yeah. We hope to, and I hope we will. We are working on bringing some programming from this stream as well as part of it. So hopefully we can do some of that with you.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Alan, thanks so much for joining us today. Good luck, and we will be in touch, but hopefully we'll be talking to you again next month as it gets closer.
Absolutely.
All right.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Ooh.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Yeah,
My
that was
pleasure.
really great.
Good. How are we doing on time? It is 11:10. Yeah. Yeah, it looked like it was. Yep,
Okay.
that's this is a really good frame. If we have people, if you want, we can leave that there for the rest of the day. I don't know if you want to take it with you, but we can leave it there. It's not in the way. Yeah,
I appreciate that. Thank you
yeah.
so much.
Then everyone will see it all day long
I appreciate it.
until someone else has something they want to put up there. But yeah, this is a really great frame, Sophia. I like how we've done this. So how is it looking better? Yeah, now that everybody's phones have moved away, it's yeah. So. and ideally the 4K recording is going to be even better. So when we take this and cut it up for Vegas Startup Scene, yeah, watch Vegas Startup Scene every Monday, where we do a rundown of what's happening in the local tech community. So news about the companies, exits, people who gotten funded, all that kind of good stuff. We do it every Monday right on this channel, on the Leduc Leadership and Media Group channel. And if you're interested in the Las Vegas tech ecosystem, you can see what we have going on in the ecosystem. We're celebrating each other's wins. We're letting everybody know about the events, and that way everyone can share and be part of what's going on. So, all right, well, hopefully we're gonna get Dave Berlin on here in just a second to talk about what he's got going on. Yeah, so let me give you the rundown of what's happening here today at Tech Alley, because we haven't done that yet. We don't need any of that. Where? I gotta find it. I usually bring it up ahead of time, but Tech Alley. That's Tech Alley. Here we go. Is this our schedule? All right, I got it. So we are here. I don't even think I did this. We are here at Tech Alley in downtown Las Vegas. We do this the third Saturday of every month here at 3rd Street, Vegas. Weirdly enough, on 3rd Street in Las Vegas. It's the old downtown cinemas, the old Eclipse theaters. So you may know it by different names, but it's an absolutely beautiful facility. They are gracious enough to host us here. And Taverna Costera, even though we are no longer at their location, is gracious enough to bring a free lunch for everyone who shows up and registers for the event. So if you are interested in tech, if you are interested in tech startups, if you are interested in drones, if you are interested in crypto, if you are interested in cybersecurity, if you are interested in entrepreneurship, if you're interested in getting investment or capital for your business, come on down to Tech Alley here in downtown Las Vegas every third Saturday of every month here at 3rd Street, Vegas. We'd love to have you here. We'd love to have you come in the live stream with us. Let's see. Yes, so those are all the preliminaries. Let me run down what's happening with the schedule today. Of course, Tech Alley always starts at 10 for networking and coffee to get everybody together. Then we do announcements about 10:30. That usually lasts 15 or 20 minutes to let everybody know what everybody's got going on, who's got events to share, who's got things they want everyone to know about. And then we get into the talks, and the first round of talks starts at 11. So we're in that first round of talks right now. So perennial favorite, Who's Got My Money with Kurt Walker, is happening right now. He's got a guest in from the Chicago area, and they're talking about getting capital for your business. Innovation Essentials, hosted by UNLV's Rachel Gomez. Las Vegas AI Meetup, hosted by Timothy May. That's a great one. James Roop is doing blockchain and self-custody. He's doing that in the morning this time. So that's usually a crowd pleaser. We're used to seeing that in the afternoon. So if you want to get down here and learn about self-custody, blockchain, crypto, the nuts and bolts of setting all this stuff up for yourself, get down here right now and see James Roop. And startup attorney Caleb Green is sitting down with people and trying to help them with some of the legal questions that they have about their startups or their businesses. And then at 12:15, lunch will start. So it is 11:15 right now. You've got an hour if you want to get down here for lunch. Free lunch from Taverna Costera. All you've got to do is get down here and get registered for Tech Alley. Just sign the QR code, get scanned in and registered in, and you can get a free lunch on Taverna Costera. And it's usually really, really delicious. They told us what it was going to be, and I forgot. If someone comes and tells me, I think it's barbecued chicken today or grilled chicken, along with salad and some other things. So then lunch runs until 1:15. We go 12:15 to 1:15 on lunch, and we get into the second round of meetups. And the second round of meetups is our good friend Josh Stacy doing demo time. So people come in, they show the hardware, software, whatever projects they're working on, they demo them and get feedback from the audience on the project. So that's a really cool one. I like that one. I haven't seen that in a long time, but I would love to do that. Abigail Otero is doing user experience and product design. She does a really great talk. I haven't seen it here at Downtown Tech Alley, but I've seen her talks at Henderson Tech Alley, and she's really, really experienced. She's really great. How businesses get found today by our good friend Eric Lacasse. So if you have a business and you're looking to get your business noticed, a lot has changed. It's not just enough to do SEO keywords and that kind of that. You've got to be noticed. You've got to be seen by artificial intelligence LLMs as they're looking through the internet to answer the questions that people ask them. So Eric's going to help you out with all of that today at 1:15. And then Adam Englander will do the Las Vegas Python meetup. So if you're interested in Python and coding and that kind of thing, get on down here for that. And Jackson Wright is doing his social marketing talk at 1:15 again as well. And then we get into the third round of meetups. at 2:45. So we usually go from 1:15 to 2:30, take about a 10 to 15 minute break. Third round of meetup starts at 2:45, and that is Sin City Programmers with Justin Otero and Josh Stacy. Again, good friend Josh Stacy, and Mike Wilson doing the Vegas Crypto Group. So yeah, I haven't seen Mike today, but Mike, if you've been watching this for a while, you've seen Mike come on, and he talks about all the amazing things that Vegas Crypto Group is doing. They have a lot of fantastic events throughout the week, not just at Tech Alleys. And so get on down here if you're interested in crypto, and not just in the nuts and bolts of crypto, but what's going on with the policy of crypto, how crypto is being adopted by communities, and how our government is adopting and supporting and promoting crypto. So that's what's going on today. Yeah, that's what's going on today. So if you're interested in any of those things, get on down here to Tech Alley. We're at 3rd Street, Vegas, on 3rd Street in downtown Las Vegas. There is plenty of parking available. I believe parking is free on the streets here all day today on Saturday, and I am looking around. I don't know if you guys can see it in the background, but there are lots of empty parking spaces on the street here, and there's even a little bit of parking in the garage below the theaters here. So thanks to 3rd Street Las Vegas for hosting us. It's a beautiful facility, and we are oh, did we forget something? There you go. You're gonna need that. Nope, no problem at all. So yeah, I am since we don't have a guest right now, I'm gonna take a break and grab a little more water, and we will be back in just a couple minutes. All right, we are back. Dave Berlin's going to join us. He's going to tell us about the things he's had going on. It's been an exciting time for Dave. A lot of changes, a lot of things going on. But I think he's got some good news for us, and can tell us about a lot of great upcoming things. So let's move that. Let me move mine closer. I feel like I'm pitching. I feel like I'm leaning into this too much. Oh, Dave is setting up his gimbal, which is really interesting. So I have a gimbal, but I don't have one for a phone. I have my gimbal for this Sony camera we're using right now today for the live stream. I should get one for my phone because there's a little bit of technique to using them, but they're pretty useful. So let me take a look at this. So once again, if you're just joining us, we are doing live from Tech Alley. It is the monthly Tech Alley event in downtown Las Vegas, hosted here at 3rd Street, Vegas. If you're interested in all things tech and entrepreneurship and community in downtown Las Vegas, or in Las Vegas in general, come on down and join us at Tech Alley. We're having a good time down here. We had James Ritchie on talking about his Jewel Fit grand opening on Tuesday, March 24th. That's coming up in just a few days. So if you're interested in fitness and you want to see how James and his company, Jewel Fit, how his workout system can get you ripped in just 2 15-minute workouts a week, come down and check out his grand opening on March 24th. Then we had Alan Fan talking about the Youth Entrepreneurs Summit coming up in June 8th to 11th at the Discovery Children's Museum in downtown Las Vegas. And now we've got Dave Berlin, who's going to tell us about the cameras that the screen.
I know.
If you can wave at yourself all you want, but I'm not sure the audience is interested in seeing that.
Right.
All right, what's going on? We didn't get to talk to you last month.
Yeah, last month I was really trying to come back from healing, right?
Yep.
So I had the slip and fall back in January. I was out a little bit, but probably a little bit more than I should have been. So
Yep. I mean, you were here. You helped us get set up, which I told you not to, and you didn't listen.
You did.
I told you to go home and rest, and you did not. But you did. You stayed a little while, then you went home and took it easy.
Yeah, that's the stubborn Marine part of me. But I think when I really look back on it, I have been very good about really focused on the healing process. And now it is time. It's time to get back out there. Right around the corner, coming up. We're on the road to Freedom Week coming up here the week after 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
We always have Global Entrepreneurship Week coming later in the year. But right now, I think the real big focus is how can we accelerate the stuff that we've already got going.
Mm-hmm.
I'd like to say there's no new things that I'm coming in on or any of that stuff. So it's really just hyper focused on how can we build the community. You and I have worked a lot with Vets in Tech, and I think we're going to have some really cool stuff to announce very soon about some partnership stuff with Vets in Tech and Tech Alley, which they both have the word tech in them. I mean, why not, right?
Seems obvious to me.
But no, I think when we get to the core of that, it's really about community building and how can we expand the things that we're doing with Vets in Tech and how can that parlay with the things with Tech Alley. I'm really excited to know both what we can do, and then not just from the tech community, but also in the employer coalition. So those are some of the big focuses for me. I had an event earlier this week with Disrupt HR that you attended as well. That was a great event, really incredible people. So I think it's time to really accelerate the things that we already have happening.
Yeah, let's take a step back and let's talk about some of the things that have been positive impacts on the community. Let's go back a couple of weeks. Mark Phelan's Momentum Office Party.
Yeah,
right? That was a great event. What do you think is so positive about these events? What do you think the impact it's making on our community here in Las Vegas?
Yeah, as far as the impact, I think I love how it's titled the Momentum Office Party. We need dates on the calendar. Dates on the calendar, I have always believed, is what creates momentum, right? If things are too few and far between, then things get lost in the sauce. Everyone gets busy. I think things like Tech Alley always being the third Saturday of the month, you can set your clock to it. It just creates a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
But then when you dose in some of the other things like Tech Alley Henderson, the Momentum Office Party, now we're really starting to accelerate. Right? I think that's that keeps coming up for everything that I've talked about this year. I think this year is the year to truly accelerate what so many of the organizations are doing. But I think now it's time to join those forces where it really makes sense. And I think what was really interesting about the Momentum Office Party was it was a very healthy dose of people from all of those different communities. We had Shaq from the governor's office. We had Haas from, that really represents a lot of the stuff that's going on in Henderson. All of it right there, smack dab in the Uncommons at Kiln. I think there's more things that can move from that.
And I think things did move from that.
Absolutely.
I mean, I made a lot of new connections that are moving forward with that. I have a thing I have to go to this week that I am just remembering. I better check my calendar for what day that is. I do have a meeting. You keep talking. I'm going to look at this because I want to make sure I didn't miss this last week.
And so now as we, time has I feel like time has just flown by this year.
Okay.
Here we are.
It's Tuesday. It's not, I didn't miss it.
Yeah. Which one is that?
It's there's a studio that wanted to be a tour. So
love it. Yeah. I think there's really, powerful things that are happening. And then I think there's always something that happens right around this time where everything starts getting really busy as spring break hits and school starts to get out. But not only that, it's just the Vegas community starts to open its doors. All the pools and stuff like that are opening. And while that may not always collide.
Strat opened yesterday.
Yeah.
They moved theirs up and we're like, we're open.
Yeah, well, and the thing is those things may not always parlay or collide with what we're doing in this ecosystem, but it does create a very unique shift when it starts getting hot this fast. This is we're in record breaking heat time right now, and what I like, it's weird because just yesterday I was out. I stopped by an event at 5 o'clock. And when I got in and got sat down, I was like, I really have to look at my calendar a lot different this year. I'm going to do a lot more Zoom calls. If you want to meet me, it's like, let's meet at 7 a.m. before it's 100 degrees, or let's catch a phone call. Cause I'm not going to be driving all across town this year when it's this is really stuff that could be a phone call.
Yeah.
But I think that's going to be, but that's going to impact the way that people show up. I mean, of course, I'm hosting events during the hottest week of the year, the week after 4th of July. So we're going to have to work around that, but it's still going to happen because that's just the week that we always have it. So I'm excited to be back out and back moving again. Excited to be here and really see some familiar faces. What's going on? I took some photos and video from Lito's thing, and man, I'm really glad that guy's back in town, but I'm really glad that he's having the conversations that he's having. He's very much involved in the defense tech. He's got some drones and stuff that he's flying around in the little theater over there, but like, this is a very technological time that we're in when it comes to what's happening with the conflict and everything that's going on in the Middle East. So just a really interesting time for us to be here and to see everybody working together. Just really excited to know what everybody's got going on. I see some new faces today, which is very exciting. I feel like there's whole new generations that are just now getting plugged into the community.
A lot of new
and
faces
that means
here
we
today.
have a lot of cool opportunities moving
Really
forward.
good turnout. I think as big as I've seen it here in the new location. So and lots of new faces, which is really great. I do want to get to Freedom Week. I do want to get to Global Entrepreneurship Week. Tell us about what you're working on with Vets in Tech. I know there's some things we're not ready to talk about yet, but what are you ready to talk about with what's going on with Vets in Tech right now?
The big shift for me right now as we really anchor into the community, as we always have an evolving tech ecosystem, we do have a few veteran entrepreneurs that are in that tech space. It's just not nearly as many in some of the other communities like New York City, San Francisco, things like that. Because of the work that I'm doing now on the board for Disrupt HR, I found this perfect parallel of a lot of employer coalition. So what can we do to make sure that a lot of the people at Creech and Nellis and beyond across the United States, if they're looking to relocate here post-service, what are the opportunities for them and for the people that are currently serving? What I love the most about Vets in Tech is that we always include the military spouse, and military spouses can have a whole different set of struggles by moving every 3 to 4
much
years.
harder, yeah.
Much harder. So the great thing about the employer coalition with Vets in Tech is we help veterans and military spouses get very high level specific tech coding certifications, and then we match them with our employer coalition. This is like Meta, Google, Oracle, Disney. Like now we have the whole Vets in Space that has launched. That opens up a lot of stuff in the aerospace and defense tech industry. So there's just a lot of incredible opportunities. But we had the phone call with Cami, who's kind of the director of all the different chapters. Who are the top 5 employers that we can partner with here locally? I'm already having conversations with TensorWave and even like T-Mobile Corporate and things like that. Who are the companies that there's so many companies? If we had a room full of all the employers in Las Vegas, who here hires veterans? They all raise their hand. But who really has a specific program or an outreach specifically to do that for, I don't want to say the right reasons, but sometimes people just say, yeah, we'll get them jobs. And it's like entry level stuff. Vets in Tech is really good at helping get some 6-figure remote contracts to enhance the quality of life for people that are active duty military spouses, and veterans. So that's where a lot of my energy and time is being spent now. Those are the conversations that I'm having outside of these events. And we met the the hiring manager from like MGM Corporate the other night, and really just trying to start some of these conversations and see where that stuff can go. So that's where a lot of my energy is focused at with Vets in Tech. And then that parlays into Freedom Week, which is coming up in July.
Let's talk about the event Thursday night and Disrupt HR and what that's all about.
Yeah, so Disrupt HR. You know, I love organizations that are in multiple communities, right? I used to work with Bunker Labs, and we opened up the chapter here. I love organizations that are in other cities. 1 Million Cups. I'd love to bring stuff like that here. Disrupt HR is a very unique one. And as we'll talk a little bit more about vet talks and stuff like that during Freedom Week. But what I love about Disrupt HR is it's in probably 170 communities. Hold on. Hey, Sophia, is that still recording? Okay. I was making sure. So the interesting thing about Disrupt HR, it's in about 170 other communities, and it's almost like TED Talks, but for the HR community. Now, TED Talks is normally 11 to 18 minutes, depending on the TEDx format and what they're actually asking for in that chapter. The interesting thing about Disrupt HR, it's a format talk, but it's a very challenging formatted talk. It's 5 minutes, a hard stop. You have to give them 20 slides. And those slides rotate every 15 seconds, no clicker. So for anyone that's a speaker, you got to know that's a very complicated format, but it's also very condensed. You have to bring the truth in that format. And I think it forces people to really get their point across, but we can also have more speakers. And just in the title of itself, Disrupt HR, there's so many things that people associate with HR, and it's very black and white. It's like very rules driven, but a lot of times because it deals with people, there's a lot of things that need to be said, and they need a space to do that. That's what Disrupt HR is. This will be the 4th year that it's been hosted in Las Vegas. I spoke at Disrupt HR back in 2018 in Tulsa, and you and I during pandemic actually talked about
bringing it
that
out
chapter here. I'm
Yeah.
so glad that Ashlyn Valdez, she did bring it here. And this will be the 4th year. So we've got great sponsors. It's going to be at Starbase on September 24th. And what we did Thursday night was just HR after hours to kind of catalyze that conversation, get some of the right people in the room. Again, if we waited all the way until September 24th, we're going to be fighting, trying to find people over the summer. So this was a great way to talk to everybody before we go really into summer. Get some great people in the room, and then we'll be doing the call for speakers very soon. And I think it's just going to be a really powerful event. Starbase is a
Beautiful facility.
Yeah, incredible facility. I think we can hold like 250 people in there. And I think it's going to be a really great night. I'm not sure if we're going to do how many speakers we're going to do exactly, but I think we can do like up to 8 speakers because they're those 5 minutes.
Right. It's tight.
It's a pretty tight program, but just a lot of really powerful things get said from that. So really excited to see how we can parlay that event with the conversation with the employer coalition at Vets in Tech and how we can get some more people involved.
Yeah, so that's coming up. So if you're interested in speaking at Disrupt HR or just showing up, the call for speakers is going to come out mid-April. It's going to run from mid-April to mid-May, if I remember the numbers right from the other night. And then that will be taking us right up to Freedom Week.
Yeah. So great piggyback right into Freedom Week. As we close out this month, March, I realize next week is the last week of March. We're jumping right into that 90-day sprint. The road to Freedom Week is here. And when it comes to Freedom Week, it's evolved, right? And it's so funny that when I slipped and fell, I had just written an article, and I do this sort of vision casting thing, manifesting, whatever you want to call it. I had just that day on January 26th, I was with our incredible friend Sophia. I was at the Win, and I was finishing up this article, and it's a Time Magazine article from the future. The first actual Freedom Week thing that I created was back in Tulsa in 2016. Here we are, 2026, so 10 years later. I wrote a Time Magazine article from 2046. And what I did was I wrote it in past tense as if this was the year, this was the summer that it really started to sprawl out into other communities, because I believe the last 15 years as a military connected community, we have been in this season of transition, and primarily that season of transition because that's the only word that we could associate with it, right? With everybody getting out of the military, everyone uses the word, oh, I'm in transition, in my transition, this and that. And not that it's a bad thing, but it's often associated with, we always get looped into this, it feels like every veteran's homeless, helpless. We have our hand out, disabled or mentally ill and suicidal. And that's just not the case. So and I really looked at the language behind that, and I'm like, what if we've been in this season of transition? Well, what if it's our responsibility as veteran entrepreneurs to now lead us into a season of expansion and transformation? Freedom Week and events like Vet Talks and VetCap is a way for us to create momentum around that conversation. So I picked the week after 4th of July just because it helps us piggyback off of an existing patriotic holiday. But also this year is very, very important. And I think that's why I came up with that article to say this is the year that it really has the most opportunity to take off. And that's because this is America's 250th birthday. We're already celebrating things like America the Entrepreneurial. We're already moving things like that in that direction. How do we piggyback off of that and really accelerate the idea of Freedom Week this year, potentially into other communities? I had very high hopes to get things going in Phoenix, Philadelphia, Dallas. I really have
or your city
or your city.
There's time.
There is time. And that's the thing is, like, I don't want to come into a community and say, you need this. I want to say, I think this is important. If you think this is important too, raise your hand and we can figure out how to help you accelerate those things in your community. So really, the way that I personally can measure the success of this is how many cities in time can we get that commit to celebrating Freedom Week? And there's a few things that I want to create as a non-negotiable, right? Like, there's always going to be people, hey, we want to do ours the week in September or whatever. No, like, it always needs to be
we all need to be doing it together.
And this is also synonymous with Global Entrepreneurship Week. Global Entrepreneurship Week in November is always the week before Thanksgiving, or at least it's been falling that way for the last several years. And it's challenging here because it happens to be the same week as F1. We're figuring out how to work towards that together.
We found last year it's not that challenging.
It's
right?
not that challenging.
It was challenging.
It takes time.
It was challenging in the beginning because I think the first year we did GEW was the year before the first F1 race.
Yep.
And then the second year where we really started to get the momentum turning and people hearing about GEW was the same week as F1.
Yep.
And people if you haven't lived here very long, or you don't know, you're just kind of getting up to speed.
Yeah.
If there's a big thing going on in Las Vegas, people want to go to the big thing in Las Vegas if they're locals. And so the allergic reaction to anything is, well, why don't you do your thing another time, right?
Yeah.
And we just can't do it that way, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's not my thing. This is an international
it's a global
event
thing.
that happens.
We don't pick the week, and
which is kind of what I looked at as I chose Freedom Week to be the week after 4th of July. I think there is gravity to it, and I'm sticking to it. So
so we had that year one of F1.
Yeah.
We had a little less of it year two, and then this past year, everyone kind of figured out, oh, we do multiple things in a given week in Las Vegas all the time. Yeah, this is all fine.
Yeah. So ideally, it's people that want to host that in their community. And then what are the things that we can really, like, I look at this from community building, but I also look at it, what are the things that I can measure to know that this is successful? And there's a few elements. Number one, I really believe that my KPIs as the founder for Freedom Week is, in time, like from 2046, I was literally looking back.
I have a question about 2046.
Yeah.
Have we survived the robot uprising and the water wars?
We have in my world. Yeah, but no,
the article you wrote doesn't mention that.
It does not.
Okay.
It does not. No, but I did look at it from what would have happened. And like, yes, there's this many cities that have raised their hand and said, yes, we want to participate. But physically, this means 20. Like, there's an opportunity for 20 veteran entrepreneur libraries. Like, that's a permanent structure that I want to happen in each one of those communities. Hopefully in the first year that they raise their hand, then at least we kind of cut the ribbon for a physical place, the Veteran Entrepreneur Library, that becomes that goalpost and that watering hole for years to come.
And you don't have to get crazy with your Freedom Week. I think we had stuff this past year, every day, Sunday through Friday, and I think Tech Alley was Tech Alley was Tech Alley the day after Freedom Week ended?
No, it didn't. Well, because it's the week right after 4th of July.
Right.
It's the first week of
so
the month.
we had Sunday through Friday. There was a Freedom Week event happening, at least one every day.
Yeah.
But you don't need to do that in your city. If you wanna get your resources together for your Veteran Entrepreneur Library and do that, and that's your Freedom Week activity, that's cool.
Yeah. But the magic wand is there are a few events that would happen in each community. So one is there would always be the opening. First year, there would be an opening for the Veteran Entrepreneur Library. And that also can be a place where events happen, right? So like when we did it in 2024, the Veteran Entrepreneur Library also was the place where we hosted the kickoff for the week. And we invited all the dignitaries from the governor's office and stuff like that. The second event, this is what we launched this last year in 2025, is Vet Talks. That's what I'm really excited about because Vet Talks it's TED Talks for the military community. We talked about Disrupt HR being the TED Talks for the HR community. Vet Talks, Veteran Expansion and Transformation Talks, is just that. It's a formatted talk. It's 8 minutes, 8 slides with a very clear call to action. I didn't want to do TED Talk because if you give a microphone to veterans for 18 minutes, they might miss the point. But also that format for Disrupt HR is too challenging. I did the hybrid, 8 minutes, 8 slides.
And it's a great format.
But I think what's interesting about that is then we can measure how many people have given a vet talk, right? We did 7 speakers that night. I want to serialize those talks. I was 001. We did 007 that night. Everywhere there's a vet talk in cadence with when they do it. We can serialize that number of talks because the whole challenge there was there's over 233,000 TED Talks, but you have no idea how many have actually been veterans. So Vet Talks would be another event that would be a flagship event. And then as long as there's a kickoff and a closeout to the week, those are like basic. And where in the communities where there's a chapter for vets in tech, or even in the places where there's not, we can do a satellite vet cap, which vet cap is a panel discussion. We talk about 4 or 5 different ways that veterans can get funded. So it's very relevant to the veteran community. When I look at, we had 7 or 8 events. Not all of those are stuff that you have to do in each community, but if we have the 4 maybe flagship events, that's what consists of a Freedom Week. And I promise, as soon as you put that flagpole in the universe one year, the next summer it just gets more expansive, or it goes deeper and it gets better. And then the next summer it gets better. And then from our perspective, it's great. And part of the reason why I launched it was because of the challenge that we had in the first few years competing with F1. It was, how do we start the conversation of Global Entrepreneurship Week earlier in the year? And that's what we do. So right now, as we get to April 1st, we're on the road to Freedom Week. As soon as we come out of Freedom Week, we're on the road to GEW. And it's kind of perfect timing because then we hit the holidays and then we get to rest for a couple months. And then guess what? We're back on the road to Freedom Week, back on the road to GEW.
So any previews of anything new we might be seeing during Freedom Week this year?
No. I thought about that because of the gravity. I want to really anchor this in other communities. I didn't want to add anything else. I just really wanted to focus and accelerate the things that we already have. So as I come out of the healing process, I'll start making the really big formal announcements first week of April. I do have an ask. This is what I've learned out of this whole experience. I've learned how to ask for help. And what I really need to help with Freedom Week this year is I need opportunities, be it podcast, be it speaking groups like Rotary clubs, anything to do with the chambers and stuff like that. Anywhere that I can go and speak and do a 5-minute, 15-minute, or 50-minute presentation about what Freedom Week is and how people can get involved, that's going to be the biggest opportunity for me to accelerate this. And I want to put together a very tight committee of people that can help us really make sure that this year goes in the right direction.
All right. Well, if you have an opportunity, if you have an event coming up and you've got 5 minutes, 15 minutes, or 50 minutes for Dave to talk about Freedom Week, he'd love to join you. So reach out to Dave. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me and reach out to anywhere. Anything that I'm doing is going to be at davemeansbusiness.com.
Okay. What else? What else do you want to get to?
I'm complete.
Okay. Well, there's a lot going on, and it's GEW is coming up. You might be doing Global Entrepreneurship Congress again this year. So
yeah, it's interesting. Global Entrepreneurship Congress is slotted in September for Doha.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know what's going on with that kind of stuff in the Middle East right now. So as it stands right now, we are slotted for that. I'll be U.S. ambassador for entrepreneurship and looking to pull together a strong delegation of people that are looking to do some international travel and represent Nevada on a global stage.
Yep. Very cool.
Cool.
All right. Thanks for joining us, man.
You got it, my friend.
All right.
I'm gonna snag somebody else for you.
All right. Cool. Yeah, while he's snagging somebody else, I can see that the Taverna guys are getting ready to they are getting lunch prepared. So lunch is always awesome. It's always worth coming down. Get your free lunch from Taverna Costera. You just have to come down and join us at Tech Alley at 3rd Street Vegas, on 3rd Street in Las Vegas. And you do have to register. You have to scan the code and get registered for Tech Alley. You can't just jump in the lunch line, but you are certainly welcome and encouraged to come join us down here for lunch. And that'll be starting in just about half an hour, if not a little sooner. Sometimes the first round of talks, some of the talks wrap up a little early, and they get lunch going quicker. But here's my agenda. So as I mentioned earlier, this is Tech Alley. We are live from Tech Alley in downtown Las Vegas. We do this the 3rd Saturday of every month, not just this live stream, but the Tech Alley event is at 3rd Street Vegas, on 3rd Street in Las Vegas, every month. And if you are interested in crypto, if you are interested in blockchain, if you are interested in drones, entrepreneurship, software coding, development, entrepreneurship, raising capital, what else? Well, I'm going to go through the agenda. So if you're interested in any of these things, come on down and join us. We're here. If you can't make it today, if you're in Las Vegas and you can't make it today, come on down and join us. It's the 3rd Saturday of every month. If you aren't in Las Vegas, but you are interested in what's going on here and you're coming to Las Vegas, try to build that trip around the 3rd Saturday of every month. We'd love to meet you. Love to have you come join us down here at Tech Alley. Love to have you come join us on the live stream and tell us about what you have going on. Same thing, if you're in Las Vegas, you're thinking about coming down today, you've got a startup or you've got a business, you've got an event coming up, we would love to have you come down and join us on the live stream and tell us about what you have going on so we can share it with everybody out in the world. So what is coming up here? We are in the first round of talks right now. They started at 11, so Tech Alley Works, networking, coffee, announcements, that all starts at 10 on a Tech Alley day, and then at 11 we have the first round of talks. Right now we're in that. Right now, said right now a bunch of times. It's Who's Got My Money, which is always a crowd pleaser with our good friend Kurt Walker. Innovation Essentials, hosted by UNLV's Rachel Gomez. Las Vegas AI Meetup, hosted by Timothy May. James Roop is doing the blockchain self-custody. If you're used to Tech Alley from before, James used to be in the 3rd round of talks in the afternoon. He's in the 1st round of talks, so you can still get down here and see what James has to say today. And then Caleb Green, startup attorney, is here answering questions you might have for an attorney about business. So then we will do lunch and more networking from 12:15 to 1:15. The 2nd round of talks will start at 1:15. Good friend of ours, Josh Stacy, will be hosting demo time. And at demo time, that's when people bring the projects that they're working on and demo them for the audience. The audience gives them feedback and asks questions on it. Then Abigail Otero is covering user experience and product design. That's a great talk. I haven't seen it here at downtown Tech Alley, but I've seen it a couple times at Henderson Tech Alley, and it's really, really great. Excuse me. And then our good friend Eric Lacasse will be not just talking about search engine optimization, but how your business can get found, especially how your business can get found and what you need to do as a business owner to make sure that artificial intelligence LLMs are seeing your business as they're searching the internet when people are asking those LLMs questions, so your business gets seen as an answer to somebody's question. Adam Englander is hosting the Las Vegas Python meetup. So if you're interested in learning Python or doing projects in Python, come on down and check that out. And then Jackson Wright is doing his social marketing talk. That's always a crowd pleaser as well. And then at 2:45, so second round of talks usually goes till about 1:30. We take about a 15-minute break. And then 2:45 is the third round of talks, and it's Sin City programmers with Justin Otero and Josh Stacy. And then our good friend Mike Wilson hosts Vegas Crypto Group. And if you aren't familiar, we're going to try to get Mike on here today, I hope, to tell us what's going on with Las Vegas Crypto Group. But Las Vegas Crypto Group has many, many events every month, including their Web3 Wednesdays on the first Wednesday of every month. And they're really doing a great job hosting events and bringing the community together on the crypto side of things. So that's what we have going on right now. And that's what we have going on for the rest of the day. We hope to see you down here. As I said, lunch is starting in about a little less than half an hour now. So if you're in Vegas and any of this sounds interesting to you, come on down to 3rd Street Vegas, on 3rd Street in Las Vegas, downtown Las Vegas, and we will see you here. All right, I'm just going to go get some water, so we're going to take a little bit of a break. Yes. Hey, yeah. I'm just going to grab some water. Whew, all right. Come on down. All right, have a seat. Join us. Not much. How you been? We're just doing our thing we do here every Tech Alley. So
Let's go. Are we live?
we are live.
Let's
We
go.
just push the button and we just let it go. We get up, we walk around, we take a break.
go.
But as long as there's someone who wants to sit in that seat and talk, we're here for you. So
Let's go.
tell everybody what you have going on, who you are, what you have going on.
What's up, guys? I'm Jackson. I'm the CEO of Your Friends in Business. We broker deal flow for established business owners here in Las Vegas through putting on events and through podcasts. I also host a radio show called Deal Flow Radio on 107.1 FM, and we interview different Las Vegas entrepreneurs. You can also call into the show, ask any questions you have about, getting more deals.
Cool. I didn't know about the radio show. When do you do the radio show?
So that's new. We just launched that. We did the first one last week, and then actually we just had an event at the Ahern, if you know the showroom in there.
Mhm.
So what we do that's unique about the format of our events is, I went to all these events, and there's nothing worse than when you're at an event and all of a sudden they just stop everything and you're sitting there while someone does their pitch, right? And so I was like, how can we help these sponsors get business without having to make it a sales pitch?
Yep.
And so what we did is basically a live format where it's like a live podcast where we're interviewing them. And if you attend, the events are free, but you can enter a raffle to get pulled up on stage, and then we put out the interview on our radio show.
Okay. So it's a
Yeah.
live event. You pre-recorded as a live event, and then it goes out on the radio show later.
Yeah, so
Okay.
we do that, once or twice a month, and then every other time, we're going to be interviewing people in person, in the actual radio station as well,
Very cool.
and get a bunch of great content.
Nice. And you're doing a talk for us today here at Tech Alley.
Correct. We have a good one. So I'm going to be in room 4. I'm bringing in my friend Mike Barrow. He's actually the former vice president of Capitol Records.
Okay.
And he's doing a documentary on Vegas right now, a docuseries telling the stories of local people here in Vegas, basically giving them something other than the Strip. and really showing them like, hey, this is the real side of Vegas.
Yeah, like if you're a Vegas local, you know that the Strip is a very small portion of what's going on here, and you probably don't spend a lot of time on the Strip if you're a Las Vegas local.
Yeah.
So, but we have lots of things going on around the Strip, including where we are in downtown right now.
Yeah.
And so that's great that he's doing that to highlight.
Yeah, and he'll
highlight
be
that.
here soon, so I'll have him hop on and
Yeah,
he can
please
talk
do.
a little bit about what he's doing right now.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. So what can we expect to hear about in your talk today? Let's give everybody a little preview to get them down here, because your talk is at 1:15, right?
Correct. Yeah. So, I'm what we would call I call myself a lead generation specialist, right? So I got my start in social media back during the pandemic. At my peak, I was getting over 10 million views a month. I ran thousands of ads, almost 2 million outbound messages, spoken on hundreds of stages. So pretty much every different type of marketing there is, I've done a lot of it. And we're going to be talking about how business owners can leverage media in this new age of AI, right? Like, AI is coming, it's going to disrupt everything. And in my opinion, one of the few things that AI can't replace is your brand, right? It can help amplify it, but the truth is who you are and the community you build is going to be one of the few things that will allow you to survive what's coming. So we're going to be talking about how you can leverage media in the age of AI through storytelling to actually, create a real authentic connection with your community and actually build something that can last as we see this massive disruption.
That's fantastic. So if you're interested in that for your business or just really to kind of come and see,
Yeah.
1:15 today down at 3rd Street, Vegas. So you said you got started in social media during the pandemic. Were you in marketing before that, or was that your entry into marketing?
So, I had dabbled in different online businesses. So I had, I'm familiar with tech. I got my start doing like e-commerce stuff. It was kind of the first business I launched that kind of got my foot in the door. But I'd say definitely when TikTok came out was really when I doubled down and really just learned the fundamentals of marketing, right? I started to learn that, the same strategies that apply to organic apply to email, just kind of like, if you learn bass guitar, you'll probably be starting at a better spot when you try to learn guitar, right? There's a lot of similarities. And it's been interesting to see how I can apply that to different fields. Like, for example, one of my clients, Dr. Nagy's running for Congress. And so we're taking some of these, more newer age tactics like podcasting and trying to install it into the political space where I really see a hole in the market right now. It's a lot of traditional media, a lot of radio, TV, billboards. I still think there's a place for that. But right now, I don't think, and obviously you understand this, people really grasp the importance of having a podcast and the doors that opens up for you compared to, all these other strategies.
Yeah, 100%. What do you find is the advantage or an advantage for a political candidate to either have a podcast or be on podcasts?
So there's really two advantages of it, right? The first one is you're creating what we call pillar content, right? So, for example, with this interview, I can take the question you just asked me, I can take this answer, and I can clip it up into a 45-second TikTok, right? And my editor is going to do this. We're doing this meta in real time. You're seeing this. And from this entire 20-minute conversation, I might get 4 or 5 of those clips. So if he's talking, so we'll shoot with our clients once a week. We'll bring in 5 guests for them. All they have to do is show up. We'll have a one sheet with an intro sequence, a list of questions optimized for virality. Then from a single conversation, we'll get at least a minimum of 5 clips for each platform. And then we have the long form, and then you have mid form, which is these like 10-minute clips, right? So between all of those, we might create 20 pieces of content from a single conversation. And if we're putting that on 7 different platforms, we just created essentially 140 posts from a single conversation.
Yeah, and what's great, I think, is because the way you're talking about it is a host asks a question, you give your answer, you give your complete answer. And we're no longer in that 1990s, I got my 30-second sound bite that I've said 1,000 times before. I can really get a message across, and then through the editing, you can clip it together into a coherent representation of the big picture that the candidate is talking about.
Yeah, and for me, the other part of it that is really the part that people don't talk about with podcasting, which I think is the real arbitrage, is it's not even about the content. It's about the relationships with the guests that you develop, right? So what I teach people and why I double down on podcasting is because I realize that views are a bad metric to chase. I got 300 million views online and I made maybe 80 grand. And most of that was from a single brand deal, right? So versus when I launched my podcast, I made 20 grand from it before I even released it because I was able to turn my guests into clients. And even if they don't become clients, you ask them for 2 referrals. If each guest gives you 2 referrals, 1 turns into 2, into 4, into 8. It starts to compound. So this is what's happening is, since we're doing this not just for us, but for our clients, now every single client is essentially funding our own customer acquisition. We built this massive Rolodex that just then gets heightened by these events we put on. And then we use the events to bring this Rolodex into person. And then we broker deal flow from all the people in the room. So like, are you familiar with BNI?
Yeah.
Right. So how does BNI work? Right. You join and then everyone has to bring people and there's like a scoreboard. Right. And I think that's effective. Obviously, they're a large organization, but you know what I think people want more than points? Cash.
Yeah.
Right. So the way we structure our events is, you know, hey, if I bring you a client, would you give me 10%? You bring me a client, I'll give you 10%. Cool. Let's
Nice.
sign an agreement. We now have a mutual referral agreement. So if we do any business from the people you send to my podcasts, the people you bring to the events, or vice versa, we all can eat off of it and we already know what's up. So now we built this
Fantastic.
community where we have all these people that have a financial interest to introduce each other, and it's just compounding.
Cool. What's a piece of advice you have for someone who is thinking about starting a podcast but doesn't know what they want to talk about, doesn't know what the topic is? Like someone who just thinks, I want to get into this, but where do I start?
So I think the first thing with any marketing strategy is getting very clear on what your objective is, right? I like to view marketing like investing, right? Your investment strategy is going to be much different than mine. Why? We're in much different stages of life, right? So we're going to have different strategies. So with content, if you're starting a podcast, you have to ask yourself, what is the goal? Is it to grow your business? Do you want to get more clients? Well, then who are the clients you want? Who are the clients that are going to pay you the most money? Oh, it's 7-figure people in the real estate space. Okay, we'll start a podcast about real estate and make your show about interviewing 7-figure real estate agents,
Okay.
right? So you have to get clear on who your client is and understand, in my opinion, the best reason to start a podcast is to get clients, right? And the clients aren't going to come from the content, at least not to start. So if you make sure that you have a podcast about what your target market is, then you can attract those people, because chances are you have at least 3 or 4 of those people in your network, right? So you don't need a big budget to get started. You don't even need podcast equipment. You could start on Riverside for $30 a month, and it's just like a Zoom call, right?
Yep, absolutely. You do not need to invest in all the tech. You can literally start with your phone and just get yourself. I mean, you can get yourself a relatively inexpensive wireless microphone just to make sure your audio quality is good, and that's it. You're on your way.
And so from there, once you've identified, okay, these are the guests I want, right? Then you start with the people in your market that already are those guests, or reach out to people you know that have those people in their Rolodex and say, hey, I'm starting a show about 7-figure real estate business owners. I would love to have you on, or do you know someone I could have on? And then once you get those first couple guests, as long as you can get 2 referrals per guest, 1 turns into 2, into 4, into 8. And the next thing you know, you're shooting 3-4 episodes a week.
Yep.
I mean, let's say you shot 10 episodes a week. That's 40 leads a month. If you had 40 warm referrals of your target market and you have a 10K offer, you close 10%, you just made 40 grand from your podcast before you even launched it within the first 10 episodes.
Absolutely.
And then take that budget, and guess what you do with that budget? Now you have the money to afford an editing team to edit, distribute, and handle all of that for you. Because if you try to edit and do it all yourself, then you're going to put out way less content and you're not going to make any money.
Absolutely.
So that would be my advice.
Cool. So what else is coming up for you? What else should we know about?
Yeah, so we put on about 2 to 4 events here every single month in Vegas. Our company's called Your Friends in Business. If you're interested in getting invites, all you have to do is text friends to 26786. Our next event we're going to be doing actually at Dr. Nagy's mansion in Summerlin on the 31st. We're going to have a lot of big politicians, business owners, a lot of really high level connections. All our events are free. We cater them. It's just an open bar. We have a really good time. So if any of you guys would like to come out to that on the 31st, just text friends to 26786 and I'll send you an invite.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us.
Yeah,
It's always a
thanks for having
pleasure
me,
to
man.
talk to you. Good luck with your talk today.
Yeah, and I'll introduce you to Mike once he gets here. So.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'd love to talk to him. All right. And yes, that talk is coming up in just a little more than an hour at 1:15 here at 3rd Street, Vegas. As I said earlier, lunch is starting in just a few minutes here. Just about 10 minutes. In fact, it looks like they're getting ready. People aren't in line yet, but I think people are going to start lining up for lunch here pretty quick. So lunch is starting here. Again, we're at 3rd Street, Vegas, on 3rd Street in downtown Las Vegas. Come on down, get registered, get a free lunch, and then join us for the second round of talks. That first round of talks is wrapping up right now, but you can see Jackson, you can see Josh Stacy, you can see Eric Lacasse, Adam Englander, you can see all those same folks we've mentioned before about in the second round of talks. And then in the third round of talks, you've got Josh Stacy again. with Justin Otero for Sin City Programmers, and Mike Wilson with Vegas Crypto Group. So lots of great stuff coming up here in the next couple of hours, so you don't want to miss it. Well, the folks are lining up for lunch, so if you want to get down here and get a free lunch on Taverna Costera here at downtown Tech Alley, now is the time to get down here. So, did you want to join us on the stream? Yeah, come on. We'll kill some time for you while you're waiting to get into the lunch line. And
Jason is?
yeah, hi, what was your name?
PJ.
PJ.
Way.
Nice to meet you,
Very
PJ.
nice to
So
meet you.
tell everybody what you've got going on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. So, first of all, I'm really excited to be here today. Mike Wilson invited me up and
Okay.
wanted to participate. Mike Wilson is our new chapter president for AI Film 3 here in Las Vegas.
Okay, great.
So, my company is Prometheus Productions and AI Film 3. I started that about 3 years ago as a way to get storytellers and the creatives that are leveraging AI to be able to get their voices heard.
Nice.
Right? It democratizes the new storytelling capabilities. It gives everybody that same opportunity. And it's been a remarkable journey. It's been
How
very
did
remarkable.
how did you get started in this? Are you a filmmaker, or did you come from the tech side and decide you wanted to use AI to make films? Am I way off on it?
No, that's a great question. That's a very fair question. So it started because when my daughter is 22 years old, but when she was 14 months old, she suffered a brain hemorrhage and she lost her ability to stand, talk, walk, fine motor skills. And I was in tech for 27 years. And while I was working at NAU as director of IT, I was looking at AI and IoT devices, trying to see how they might work together at some point. Well, generative AI came out. I started playing with it. I took it home and I showed my daughter, and she started creating these images of these that were telling me stories. That I started asking her questions about the things she was creating. One of the first things she had created was a mermaid, and I'd asked her, "Well, why a mermaid, sweetheart?" And she explained to me that when she's in the water in our pool, that she's able to move like a mermaid. She's free from her wheelchair essentially. And so that was a huge moment for me, realizing that the power of AI gave her a new voice and a new understanding for me about my relationship with my daughter. So I thought, if that happened to me, there's got to be moms and dads all around the world that would love to have a voice from somebody they love, or the other way around. And so I became an advocate for what AI tools can create, what they can do for people, do for our society. And I think it's tremendously beneficial. So I started a festival, and that turned into a second-year festival, which turned into now doing work for clients and working in AI directly. So we're doing all kinds of stuff, from music videos, post-production, production for documentaries. We're very, very busy, and it's excellent. We're now in 7 states.
Congratulations. So how do you see, because I've just recently started working on film projects, but more traditional film as an executive producer. How do you see AI? Because there's a lot of controversy in this topic, and I think a lot of the controversy is overblown because new tech comes into every industry all the time, right?
Yes.
How do you see AI fitting into the film industry, the TV industry coming up in the future?
That's a great question. You know, I think it's a pretty big question because the direction that it can go is so diverse. It totally depends upon those that are wielding it, of course, right? When people are making decisions in a vacuum, or if they're not exploring all the options, it can become very limiting in some instances. However, I think that AI is going to play a part in being able to provide a better quality of experience for actors, for filmmakers. It helps to reduce our overhead of cost. Storytelling you start new iterative ideas. Stunts and hazardous areas where people could be injured could be totally eliminated. I mean, working with some producers, and they want to have an explosion, they explain to me the cost and the timing and what that looks like.
Yeah.
That now we can create that in a simulation that provides a safe environment,
Yeah.
lowers the cost.
Yeah,
and
I think
increases
there's
productivity.
a really valuable question of what does technology, whether it's AI or something else, what does it allow me to do that I couldn't do before? Right?
Correct.
What are the things I always wished I could do but couldn't do? Right? Because it was expensive or impractical or dangerous or whatever it was. Right? And I think if we open our minds to the idea of what have I always wanted to do that I just could never do, and then that's where we start to apply things like AI. Right?
I 100% agree. That's the foundation of my story with my daughter. I mean, is what could she never have done before that she can do now? Well, with the limitations of her hands, she couldn't draw pictures to do those things. Should that prevent her from being an artist? Should that prevent her from sharing what's in her mind? I think that's important for everybody because we live in a very diverse world. And when I say diverse world, I mean like from physical capabilities to having a teacher to having, you have ideas in our head, and we shouldn't limit those because of the resources we have available to us. If the resource changes that, we should embrace it a little bit.
Absolutely. So tell us about your festival. You've had 2. Are you having another? Is it going to keep going on?
It is.
Where is it? How do you get submitted for it? What kind of submissions are you looking for?
Oh, great questions. Thank you so much. Yeah, it's going to be September 17th, 18th, and 19th this year.
Okay.
It's going to be in Phoenix, Arizona. We've hosted it in Arizona for the last 2 years. But we have AI Film 3 is also branched out to where we showcase films at local theaters across the country. We have 7 locations currently, 7 states that we're in. In Arizona, we showcase it twice a month, every Thursday at Pollock Cinemas.
Okay.
So we go from 6 until 8. We showcase about an hour, hour and a half of films. Then we sit around with the audience and talk about what they just saw, how was their experience, and most of that is general community. The festival itself, submissions are open on Film Freeway. It's filmfreeway.com / and it's AI Film 3 will take you right to that page. And as far as Prometheus, and then I have website aifilm3.com. Prometheus Prod, PROD.com. That'll take you also to our production side of things that we're doing, where we host these local events, do meetups. We encourage people to come out, learn about the tools, be engaged. And that's several of the ways to reach us.
On your showcases, are these completely AI generated films? Are they hybrids with real actors, real locations? How is it?
Another great question. We do, obviously, we encourage hybrid as well.
Okay.
But by and large, most of them are completely AI film driven or AI driven. We do have some submissions. We have artists and creators and filmmakers that submit things where we have one that's fantastic from a creative that is actually, she's in a wheelchair, but during the fantasy scenes, during the parts where she escapes, she's using AI and visions herself in a different format. So that again we do both live action that complement with AI production and vice versa.
Okay, cool. One, when are you doing a showcase in Las Vegas? And 2, when are you doing a workshop in Las Vegas?
I love those questions too. Actually today at 2:45 at this event, we are going to be showcasing 4 or 5 films.
Okay,
that have
great.
been
So
selected
that's going to be
specifically
Mike's talk today.
That is correct.
Awesome, yeah. That'll be 2:45 here at 3rd Street, Vegas, on 3rd Street in downtown Las Vegas.
Absolutely. And then on top of it, Mike is our chapter president, so he's gonna be hosting these here, I believe, every regularly on the 3rd Thursdays of every month. He's gonna be doing that same showcase here.
Fantastic.
Showcasing a handful of films. And I would be more than happy. I'd love to come out here, do some workshops, explore with people, show them some of the tools and techniques. And
One of my big goals when I was asked to come in and help on the business side of executive producing some of these film projects I'm involved in now, because I'm involved in Tech Alley and the tech community here, the startup community here. Our film community is a really tight-knit community of people who show up to each other's stuff. They've got the community piece down. We have the tech piece down, and we're working the community piece. And I've always wanted to look for things that can help bring these two communities closer together so that we can learn from each other. Right. And I think one of your workshops of here's how you can incorporate AI, whether you're doing a traditional film, whether you're trying to do some kind of hybrid thing, or you're looking to do something that's completely AI generated for our film community here. One, to take some of the fear away, because we all want to make great movies, right?
Right.
That's what we want to do.
Right.
So, and I think, especially producers will start to say, or directors will start to say, oh, I can still make something really great.
Correct. Right. I mean, you absolutely can. And what's amazing is when you see the diversity that comes out, the creative process is very human, and I love that. And because these tools don't do anything without that creative process from the human being. So they're not replacing what somebody can do. It enhances what they can do.
All right. Well, we're going to have to get you on the books to come do your first workshop out here in Las Vegas in the next couple of months. So
I love it. On April 29th, actually, we're going to be doing AI Film Awards here in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
So that's open as well. We have open calls. I believe they end the first week of April is when they end, and April 29th is when we're hosting the festival event.
Can they do that?
It's through Film Freeway.
Through Film Freeway. Okay.
Yep.
Cool. So yeah, check that out. If you're one of my film folks who's watching this, yeah, check that out. You've still got time to get a submission in. So
absolutely. I really appreciate the time you've taken with me today.
No, one more question. What do you think about the Netflix deal? How are we? How's this all fitting into Hollywood films now?
That's a great question too.
Or not the Netflix deal, the Warner deal.
Yeah, well, then you had Ben Affleck who also created something recently.
Yes, and I'm really excited to learn more about his startup.
Yeah, it's interesting though. I think what's nice, what I expect is I do expect a lot of these major studios to start embracing culture. I firmly believe that this actually enhances the longevity, right? A lot of times people get into film, whether they're actors or directors, because they want to have a legacy. They want to have something they're remembered by. The great thing about AI is there are ways that AI can build your legacy forever. If you build your own model, build your own content, build your own voice actors, that provides you to be around for other people to use and appreciate and love, and there's a ton of advantage to that. So I think that's going to come. I think we'll start seeing some of that more in Hollywood. I mean, we already see actors that have put their voice on things like 11 Labs, and 11 Labs has been a great partner for us in the past as well. Those are just great examples, though, of how it can be leveraged.
Yeah, I think as long as we can crack the nut of making sure people get the credit they deserve for the work they do, like we have done many times with different technologies over the last century and a half,
Right.
if we can crack that nut with this, I think it's all going to be fine in the end.
Yeah, I do too. And it's funny because even then, one of the other things that Stand with Crypto is another great supporter of what we do.
We're big fans of Stand with Crypto and Mike.
They're amazing. Mike is fantastic. Shelton Biescochea is our chapter president out of Arizona. And one of the things that we work on also is how we can talk. So we host crypto events as well. We host the crypto blockchain events. And I've been able to share how creating with these tools can then be put into the blockchain, how we can actually leverage this so that the creatives that are being independent in their creative process can now take ownership of their creativity because they can put it on the blockchain. They get that time, date stamp, immutable assets.
I think you just wrote the outline for your first workshop in Las Vegas.
I would love that. I would love
So
that.
that's fantastic. Anything else you want to leave us with before we let you go get some lunch?
Other than please take a look at us. We're on all the major social media outlets. It's AI Film 3. Except for on X, it's going to be AI_film_3 because there are people out there impersonating us and we keep having to change it. It's crazy. You got to be doing something right when people are trying to imitate
if people are impersonating you, you're doing something right. But it's a little annoying when you can't use your actual name because people have taken it to impersonate you.
That's correct. That's correct.
So
But
no.
that would be the big thing. If people could follow us there, that'd be much appreciated. And take a look at our local chapters. AIFilm3.com will have more information as well as our PrometheusProd.com.
All right. Well, thanks so much for joining us. Go
Thank
get
you.
some lunch.
Thank you so
and we'll
much.
see you around later today.
I really appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks. Hey, how are you? John, come on. Have a seat and join us. So, get real close to the microphone here.
Real close.
There's a lot of background noise with lunch happening.
Not a
so
problem, not
you want
a
to probably be like right about here on the
Oh,
microphone.
really?
Yeah, that's
Get
great.
really
what you're
personal.
doing is great. Yeah. So John, tell us what brings you here. Is it your first Tech Alley?
No, actually, I was here last month. I was impressed with the people, the information, the connections that I've made. At this point, I decided, you know what? Let me come back, but this time to ramp it up. And I put a little booth to get more information.
All right. Well, tell us what's going on at your booth.
My booth is basically Catch a Charge.
Okay.
It's basically a kiosk that lets you rent a battery pack. As a matter of fact, this is how it looks like. Simple battery pack that you can connect to your phone.
Hold it up a little higher.
A little
we get this
higher?
thing here. Yeah, there you go.
There you go. That's what it is. The opportunity is I decided to help the small business owners. My kiosk is the small ones. Obviously, we do have the big ones for convention centers
Yep.
and airports. But in this case, we decided to make it easy for the regular business owner, restaurants, and so forth. Because, right now, the economy, biggest problem is expense cost to get the customer in the door. And the other issue is once they're there, maximize the client.
Right. Revenue per square foot.
Exactly. So that's what we're specialized. We specialize on helping them have the customer and not worry about their phone. Because believe me, I have $3 of my own. And one of them, for some reason, was, oh, Dad, our battery's dying. Let's go. And
Right. You don't want people to have to leave because they've got to go charge their phone.
Exactly. So the idea is obviously help the small business owner. And the other way we do that is because we have multiple locations. They cross advertise each other. So in other words, their advertisement is going to be in their store or their restaurant, as well as the other location. Maybe a pizzeria versus a burger joint. So they cross advertise and let them know, hey, I saw your ad over here. Can I go over there? So that's what the idea is. Basically a coalition of owners where they
Okay.
help each other out, at the same time maximize the clientele. And at this point, it seems to be working. A phenomenal response. And at this time, hey, we're trying to make it easy for everybody.
Yep. So how does it work? I go into the small business and I need my phone to be charged.
Exactly.
Do I swipe my card? What do I do?
Yeah, in this case, very simple. Just works like any other kiosk. In this case, yes, it does. Your credit card. What you do is basically tap on it. Would like to rent it. The display tells you, hey, we're going to take $30 from you, but every 20 minutes, we're going to deduct $2 from that.
Okay.
If this particular charger charges your phone about 30-40% in 20 minutes. So in theory, $2 for that 20 minutes. After that, you click on it. Hey, I want to return it. Close it back up. Hit return. Put it back in, and then it gives you a credit back to your credit card.
Okay.
And basically, with your phone, you click on it, and it gives you the receipt.
Okay.
So basically, it's just like any new technology. We're on our phones, so might as well use it. And that's what it works.
Okay. Now, so I see these are not tethered to the device.
No,
So can I
absolutely.
take this with me when I go somewhere?
Absolutely. Like for instance, right now we're also talking to Town Square.
Okay.
So if you rent it from the kiosk machine there, then you can go from one store to the next to the restaurant. An hour or two later, you can come back and just put it back in. The idea is for making convenience for everybody to walk around.
Do I have to put it back in the same one I took it from, or if like I'm out and about downtown and I stop by the pizza place for a slice and I go, oh, I need to charge my phone a little bit, and I'm walking around and I'm like, now I'm going to stop in for a cocktail somewhere. I can just pop this back into one if there's an empty slot.
Exactly. There is a map on it. It will tell you different locations. Obviously, right now we're trying to put as many as possible. I'm hoping to 50 to 100 in a month. Excuse me, in a year. And at this point, the idea is to make it convenient.
Yep.
If you're in one location versus another, all you do is look at the map for the kiosk. It'll tell you, oh, there's one over here. I can.
So there's like a phone app where if I'm like I need to charge my phone and I
Exactly.
want to use one of these, I just look at there's one around the block.
Exactly. And you can basically click on it. Hey, I want to return it. As long as there's a slot, there is a problem. There's got to be a slot for you to be a put one in.
Okay, so it's not like a drop box. There's got to be an empty slot.
It got to be a slot. Exactly.
Okay.
So what we're doing is basically filling it up to 95%. So there's 2 available slots for you to put it for that convenient. But sometimes we have no options. If customer put,
Right. Sometimes 2 people come by and they're like, okay, I'm done with this,
exactly.
and then someone will get that, someone will take it, and it'll be fine. But-
Exactly. And not only that, we don't mind if you don't return it. There's no problem with it. The only difference is obviously the machine's going to charge you an extra
they
$10.
just hold on to your money, right?
Yeah, it's an extra $10, and you basically own it. The best part is you can take it home and charge it yourself.
There you go.
So
So
you
for
know,
$40, you just bought a mobile charger.
exactly. I mean, if for
This
emergency,
sounds like a win-win for everybody.
Exactly. That's the idea. Then that's why we're keeping the cost minimal. You know, obviously there is expenses, and that's one of the reasons why we created the coalition aspect where customers cross advertise, and that cost keeps the cost low.
So, and I know you're all asking right now. So, if you have an old iPhone like I do, you've got this guy.
You're good to go.
And then if you have anything newer than the last couple of years, you've got your USB-C, so you're good to go, right?
Exactly.
So don't feel bad if you got an old iPhone like I do.
I do too. So
And
don't worry about it.
hey, as long as I don't have to charge it more than once a day, I'm hanging on to it. So
Exactly.
how did you get started in this? Did you design these?
No. Honestly, I bumped into this business because 2 years ago, my daughter and I I was looking into buying a senior care franchise. Unfortunately, it's one of those things that I didn't get approved for it. So I said,
Well,
you know what?
I mean, they make great money, but they're not easy to run, and there's a lot of regulations on them.
Absolutely. That's why I was going with the franchise, because they know what they're doing. You know, I was going to learn from them versus me trying to learn the business. And so the issue is that, you know what? I'm still want to do some. I'm retired from Kroger tech support.
Okay.
So I'm an IT guy left and right. But you know what? You want to keep busy. So once I bumped into this, I said, you know what? This sounds like a great idea. I found out it's popular in Asia. I found out it's popular
yeah.
in Europe.
Yeah.
But in the U.S., hardly ever. Maybe at the airport or maybe at the convention center.
That's where you usually see it at like a convention center or an airport. And that's why I asked that, can you take it? Because a lot of times if you're an airport traveler, you're like, I'm picking it up in this airport and I'm plugging it in, I'm getting on my flight, and I want to drop it in the drop box at the next airport.
Yeah, yes, definitely you could if I'm connected there.
Yep.
Not yet so far. Hopefully, you know, this is basically, we started this 2 months ago.
Okay.
And right now we are going gangbusters. We have a couple of customers. Like I mentioned, Town Square is very interested. A couple of the local dealerships here as well. Also fantastic indoor swap meet.
I know Andrew Swap. Yeah.
So at this point, a lot of
Indoor swap meet's great because people will come in, they'll have 3% of their phone, but they don't want to leave. So
Exactly. And the good thing is we have the big ones and the medium ones. So basically the medium one has 24 slots. The big ones has 48 slots. So basically the idea is make it convenient for everybody.
who do you want to get connected with? Who are businesses you'd like to get connected with that you're not connected with right now?
Honestly, small business owners.
Okay.
And the reason why is because I hear the same thing everywhere, like you, which is, hey, you know what? The economy is not the same. We are, it's not as well as before. So if we can help them basically maintain their customers at the same time, giving the convenience to generate more income or more customers coming in the door, that's the idea.
Yeah, and what kind of like dry cleaners, like restaurants, I can see this to be great. Like, you know how you take your car in for maintenance and you're like, well, it might take half an hour, or it might take 2 hours. Do I catch an Uber home? Do I hang out?
Exactly.
Like this could be really great. Like at the car maintenance places,
Exactly.
or the oil change places,
Exactly.
right?
Like actually yesterday I was at Discount Tire, and I was waiting. Obviously, I was looking at my phone. Is it going to die? I could walk home, but I said, you know what? Let me just take care of it. And you're right.
I do that
There's
all the
small
time for car maintenance. They're like, well, it's going to be 45 minutes, all right? If I walk, it's a nice day, but
No.
they're going to call me and I'm going to have to turn around and walk back over, right?
Exactly.
If
Or
I
Uber
call
home.
an Uber, I'm going to wait 5 to 10 minutes for an Uber. I'm going to get home. I'm going to have like enough time to put my stuff down, and they're going to call me and tell me it's done, right?
Exactly.
So there's a lot like this car maintenance thing. Like there's a lot of times I just choose to stay, and I'm looking at my phone. I'm like, all right, I need to put this in my pocket. I need to not do anything while I'm waiting here because
Exactly.
I don't want to be without my phone, right?
Exactly.
When
And
I
that's
need
what
it.
happened to me yesterday. Luckily, I only live maybe 5 minutes away, but say, you know what? I don't want to walk to home in the sun. Let me just relax, take it easy.
Yep.
And that's the idea. We're looking for small business owners that, want the convenience for their customers. And at the same time, the idea is put them out there. 50,
Yeah,
100 of them.
I see like those fast casual dining places, anywhere where you're grabbing like a burrito or a slice
Exactly,
of pizza,
exactly.
somewhere you're going to be for 15 minutes, right?
And
or you're grabbing a cocktail, right? You might be there for half an hour, but you might be walking somewhere else. You might be whatever it is. You want to get that phone charged up a little bit, but
And also, out of the blue, honestly, to tell you the truth, our first location was inside the Green Valley Library on Green Valley Park.
yeah,
by
the
the
library's
district.
great too.
There was a little coffee shop, and the guy said, "Oh my God, this is phenomenal! I need this," because a lot of people in the library, they're doing their stuff, but they forget to charge their phone, especially with the kids.
Yep.
So the moms and pops come in and grab a charger and go back into
That's
the
great.
library.
That's fantastic.
So the
It's
idea is convenience.
It's lightweight, but it's sturdy. You don't like you're not gonna feel like it's falling apart on you. It's
I mean, it's,
it's very convenient. You can just kind of flip it out and plug it right to your phone and just let them sit there. And
exactly. Or take it with you. Put it in your purse. Put it in your back pocket. It's going to be a little bulky in your back pocket, but at least
yeah,
your
it's a little
phone's
too
being
bulky
charged.
for a back pocket. But if you got a purse, you're good to go.
Exactly.
How can these businesses you want to get to? How can they connect with you
Well,
so they can get these in there? Because I think you're going to want these.
Our website is basically catchacharge.net. Excuse me, Inc.net. And we're structuring and setting it up. My phone number is there, obviously, and our
Okay.
information. I mean, you're welcome to take my information, my number. Is that okay?
Yeah, tell everybody how they tell them how to reach you.
My personal phone number is 702-287-2518. 702-287-2518. My name is John.
All right. Well, it's great to meet you.
Thank you
Thanks
so
for coming
much.
on and
Thank you.
joining us today. Everybody, if you've got a business and this sounds great to you, reach out and talk to him, and let's get it going.
Thank you again.
All right. It's good to meet you. Sonny, come on. How you doing? It's been a few months. Back from Colombia. How was Colombia?
Las Vegas, but
Yes.
now it seems
It's certainly not cold in Vegas anymore.
No, it isn't. It feels like summer.
So yeah.
But yeah, just getting more deep into AI as everybody else is, and really starting to develop apps. The crazy thing, I don't know what the phrase is. Like, there's double-edged sword, but that's good and bad. But I mean, like, double-edged sword and good with AI, because AI is not only the product, but can help you build the product.
Right.
So,
Right. So
Yeah,
AI is it's really it's just moving so fast. It's becoming
Yeah.
it's becoming so helpful. About a month ago, I just created my first AI agents
Yeah,
to
exactly, yeah.
automate, not just automate tasks, but to do like creative brainstorming and research and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So that I don't have to sit there and do it myself. And it's been a huge help.
Exactly. Yeah. OpenClaw was a really big breakthrough, in my opinion, not because just what it did. I had some of those theories before that became a thing. And so the fact that that was successful validated a lot of my ideas. That a lot of the values, not necessarily in the LLM, but in the application layer
Yep.
and orchestrating.
What can you produce with it?
Exactly. You know what I mean? And domain knowledge, because it's really hard to do general knowledge on everything. You know, there's so much domain expertise. And even if you have two businesses that are in the same industry, they might have different ways that they do things, you know, different accounting system, different project management methods, you know. So, you know, it's encapsulating, but it's very exciting. So I'm working on some apps, but one of the main apps I'm working on is a coding agent, because I was like, well, if I can code 5 times faster, that makes everything possible then.
Right.
You know, and it's pretty exciting.
So what else? What else are you working on?
Well, OpenClaw kind of changed the game for me. So, one, proving that's valuable, but like, I think I'm one of the few people who built an all-in-one SaaS enterprise software for my dance studio app. And so now I'm going to build the first essentially fully all-in-one with full agent integration.
Okay.
So I'll give you an example. Typically, when you run a business, you got 5 different apps: QuickBooks, your project management, customer billing, whatever, right? And what OpenClaw is really representing is general tasks, which is still valuable. It's kind of like selling the spreadsheet, but they don't tell you what to put in the spreadsheet. You know what I mean? So I'm doing an actual domain expertise where instead of having to jump to third-party APIs, which are not really meant to be read by LLM, so you're kind of wasting tokens. I rebuilt all in one dance studio: the accounting, the billing, the payroll, the online store, the studio rental, all that stuff. It's going to feed the LLM, and it's going to have a much more agentic experience that's like talking to an intelligent agent that knows everything about your business. And and not to just answer a question, where OpenClaw is changing is that you can have an ongoing conversation.
Right.
And that's real big difference. So now you can talk to your business and be like, hey, how's the staff doing? What do you think we should do with this? What do you think we should do with that? Okay, so somebody's being really bad. Come up with a 30-day plan that if they don't meet these needs, I got to let them go. But if they meet these needs, then, you know, so it's helping you make decisions, and it's helping you generate the actual solutions once you make a decision.
Yeah, the ability of agents and AI to, I try not to anthropomorphize it, but to remember previous conversations.
Exactly.
That to me, that's what's really broken wide open in the last 6 or 8 months.
Exactly.
It's now whatever you're working with, if it's worth anything, it actually has more ability to remember, and not just to remember what you've talked about in the past, to correlate those things itself and to provide you with recommendations or ask you questions.
Exactly. And because working with business is mostly a closed domain system, you know, it's not like you're trying to write a movie where it could be anything. It's like business tend to have structure and domains and structure to it. You could have basically like a Harvard MBA business assistant analysis that can give you advice as you're trying to make decisions about your business. But it's been really nice. I mean, I personally use, I'm pretty sure I'm not alone, you can use Claude to kind of help you write code. But now what I'm trying to work on is the first all-in-one business agentic solution where you can discuss topics about staff, customers, and just also general topics about where you want to take your business next. And, you know, like you mentioned before, which is really important, how do you manage state? Not just do this and whatever. Like, I have a high level goal. We're trying to do these things, you know, like, we'll give a good example. I want more students for my dance studio. Okay, you suggest email marketing. Let's go do that rabbit hole. Okay, did it work? Did it not work? Let's feed those results and inform our next decision and just have an ongoing conversation. So I've looked at OpenClaw. I'm inspired by some of the best ideas, but I got my own ideas of how to manage state and keep people on topic. Because with like I mentioned before, with business, it's more of a narrow domain focus. So I think there's a much more better way. It's really interesting, you know. OpenClaw just really proved that the value is in the application layer, the memory state management, not necessarily the LLM. Because you could have a lower LLM And if you give it the right context and reference, it's able to answer the question rather than having a broad one.
I think there's definitely been a shift in the whole industry, I think, from this idea of we're doing these LLMs because we're trying to get to AGI.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's where everybody was a year ago. We're doing all this
Yeah.
because we're trying to get to AGI. And then everyone, especially Anthropic, has realized we're going to focus this down to help you build the things
Exactly,
that
yeah.
help you. And we're going to build our platform around that as
Exactly,
opposed
yeah.
I feel like the race to AGI has just been put on hold for a little bit.
Exactly. Well, I think what they realize is that, things can get pretty complicated in the details, and that's where all the labor is, and I learned this many years ago. Like, I don't know if you know the traveling salesman problem.
No, tell us about it.
So it's a math problem, but basically this is a demonstration that you genuinely don't need a lot of variables before, you know what I mean? Like,
Before things get complicated.
exactly, before you get to infinity, really. And it sounds crazy, but it's true. Or I'll just give you a simple one. The deck of cards. So do you know what the term factorial in math means? So it basically you multiply a number all the way down to 1.
Yep.
So the factorial 4 is 24.
Yep.
4 times 3 times 2 times 1 is 24. When you do a factorial 52, that's more than the atoms in the universe,
Yep.
like way beyond, which means that when you shuffle a deck of cards, you're probably the only human being in history who will ever have that order of cards.
Ever get that exact order of cards, right?
So with traveling sales problem, it's the same thing. It's like, what's the shortest distance between 20 dots on a two-dimensional plane? And once you get to 20 dots, again, it's too big.
Yep.
So that's my point, is that AI has a limit, probably 3 to 5 variables, because you can run, brute force on 3 to 5 variations. But once you get to like 10 or 20 variables, it's impossible. So there's always going to be infinite, like they say, oh, AI will take all of our jobs. Like, no, it'll find more jobs, actually,
So the good news is that AI has to live with the laws of mathematics. and
Exactly,
We have to live with them,
yeah.
which means there will always be room for humans, because if AI is limited to dealing with 3 to 5 variables,
Exactly, yeah.
or even in the future 10 to 20 variables,
Exactly,
as a human, we have to decide what the most important variables for that AI to deal with are.
In a weird way, it's almost like mining, right? You're mining data, you're mining intelligence. You could say, hey, we have this situation. I don't know if it's valuable or not. I'm going to have my AI brute force all the different variations and see if there's any value to be had. And once you find something that's valuable, then you can sell it on the market. It's kind of like mining for gold. It sounds weird,
Yeah.
but it's the right combination of recipes. That's the other thing that I don't think anyone's really talked about, is that yes, AI is going to make us more functional, more intelligent, but I think it's going to explode in our culture. What I mean by that is, when you typically go to a restaurant, you can get a vibe, right? You get a sushi restaurant, you know how that feels?
Yep.
You got a Mexican restaurant, an Italian restaurant. I think about all the culture that we're not having.
Yeah.
Because you could look at Italian, Mexican, Chinese food. They still have the basic core: cow, pig, carbs, rice, you know what I mean? But each one feels different. So I think in the future, there's going to be a lot more culture. Typically what it seems like is that there's about humans take about 200 years to take modern culture. Like, even though Italy's Italy and been around since Rome, they don't speak Latin today. It's kind
Right.
of a different culture. So, give or take 100 years, but it takes about 200 years to take what is the set of rules for a common culture. So I think AI could accelerate that. And you go to somebody's house and it's just like going to Japan, but a completely different country.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's
so
kinda
the,
interesting,
So
yeah.
the platform you're working on,
Yeah.
the app you're working on, is this still focused on the dance studios, or is this much more
so
broad
I got
for
a
business?
I got a couple weeks left on it. I've just been busy with other projects, but great question. So the Dance Studio app took me 6 years to build, 7 years to build. It's great, but I had a fundamental problem, as every SaaS enterprise does, is even though it's great, it takes a long time to learn.
Yep.
So I built two things. One, the automated onboarding and app tutorial bot. This is going to be the first time. It'll be done by next month. So next time you see me, I can show a demo.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
And basically, for the first time, how often has it been when you go to an app and you're like, how do I do this? What if you could just ask like Siri and it can tell you,
Yep.
but it can also just do it for you? It won't actually write to the database because obviously for security reasons. But if you're like cancel membership, it'll give you the confirmation and you can press a button.
Yep.
Because that's kind of strange how, like, if you run a dance studio, you already know how to run a dance studio business. Now you got this other problem where you have to learn the software. But you're like, I already know it knows how to cancel a membership. What if I could just talk to it and just take me there?
Yep.
So that's the first thing. The second thing I'm adding, which I think is the holy grail, is eventually the owner talking to the business itself. So it's as if you're talking to a human being that has all the data about your business, and you're like, hey, tell me what do you think I should improve on?
Yep.
Because it can just hold more data than a normal human being, but it can reference, oh, actually, you should give this staff more hours. You should have a talk
Yep.
with this student. They seem to be falling behind in their attendance, and just have a natural language conversation. I think that's going to be a big deal.
Fantastic.
You know what I mean? I think there's going to be different personalities. You know what I mean? Like some people like certain ways to being talked to.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
I definitely see that coming very, very soon, where AI is smart enough to recognize, okay, this is how this person likes to be communicated with.
Exactly. Yeah.
I will, without being told, I will alter my own personality to be an effective communicator to
Yeah.
my user.
Exactly. And so it's interesting, but it's true. There are many different ways to communicate, you know, how, and also, you know, I noticed as I increased the count for LLM, because I tried to use open source LLM because I want my privacy, but as I increase the count of parameters, it's interesting. It does sound more human-like. What I mean by that is that if you're like, hey, you know, what staff is lacking, whatever, you know, the lower parameters will just answer the question, but then the higher parameters will say like, oh, this is the solution to your question, is answer your question, and you should really focus on this.
Yeah.
And they throw in extra words to kind of let you know how important or not important the data they're trying to communicate. And I realized that's how humans actually speak.
Some of them are becoming very, very effective communicators.
Exactly, because I would say when humans communicate, it's half emotion and half function. It's like, okay, I'm going to answer your question, but I'm going to let you know what you really should emphasize on and what not to emphasize on.
I love it.
You know what I mean? So, you know, but yeah.
I love it. So what else? What else do we need to know about?
No, I'm just working on some AI apps. I'm working on a coding agent that's gonna like hyperdrive everything, you know. But it's just been really a thrill. Like, you know, this to me is the biggest thing since the iPhone, since the internet. But I think even crazier because it's taken, you know, me to heights I've never really been before. It's kind of like this weird analogy. I feel like you're exploring intellectual mountains. You know what I mean? And before, you require a certain labor to climb up that mountain.
Yep.
But now you got a goat cart.
Now we've got a helicopter.
Exactly, right? And you can go to that mountaintop, see what that sees, and it gives you
And
ideas.
you can see there's another mountaintop you didn't know about. In the
Exactly.
distance.
That's what you really get excited about.
Yeah.
Like I spent years building my own framework, and in a couple days, I had ideas how to rebuild the whole thing from scratch and 2 to 10x its value.
And it was worth it.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to go back and hand jam it all in.
Exactly,
The AI
yeah.
helps you do
Exactly. It figured out how I should change it, and it can do the labor of changing it.
it. Right. And to me, that's such incredible potential. Is we can now really get rid of that sunk cost fallacy. Of,
Exactly, yeah.
We put so much work into our enterprise system, we can't change it.
Exactly.
Well, now, but we can just talk to this AI, and this AI we can just tell it what we want, and it can just do it.
Exactly.
And we don't, other than like, we're not going to ship that first draft, but then we go in and we tweak it, and now we can get rid of the sunk cost fallacy.
Exactly. And that's some of the AI stuff I'm working on right now, where it doesn't just do things, it actually manages state and asks you questions. Because as a software developer, when people say they want an app, that's all I do is I ask them questions, you know,
But it's got to work with this old app, and now we can say no, it doesn't.
Exactly. Yeah.
No, it doesn't. Don't worry, I got you.
Exactly. And that I would say, I don't know what you would call that. And I might be one of the first ones to create it because I eventually want to create it. But to me, there's going to be a pinnacle point where the AI can do database migrations. That hasn't really existed yet. Like if you generate an app, whatever it is, right? And they say, actually, I need to add a bunch of these other features. Then it regenerates the second app, but it auto migrates all the data from the first app. Now you're really getting to interesting territory.
Yeah, that just takes the right enterprising person to tell an AI, here's my old database.
Exactly. Yeah.
Here's how I want the new one to look. Go do it.
Exactly.
I'll come back after I have a cup of coffee. Let's see where we are.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Just do the first record in the database.
Exactly.
And let's see how it looks. And then I'll tell you and if it looks right, we'll do another 10. And if those look right, then we'll do another 100. And then we'll go, all right, just you know all the old fields.
Exactly.
You know all the new fields. I'm going on vacation. I'll see you in a week.
Exactly. And as long as you give it the reference, it can do it. And that's what's so crazy about it, because like I was telling somebody else, like you got these large LLMs, but it doesn't matter. Once you cross the threshold that it understands English and it can do a lot of variable analysis, you can just talk to it like a normal human being.
Absolutely.
And it understands your logic.
Right.
And it's like, wow, everything I think about can literally be communicated to it, and it can be automated.
I love it because with the databases I'm working with, I just tell you know what, I don't like the name of that field anymore. Rename it this.
Exactly,
And change it in every record. And it goes, okay.
Exactly.
That's done. What next?
Exactly. Yeah. So I have a demo after this, but I showed a demo earlier
Okay.
of programming where I actually speak and it actually writes some of the code.
That's all I'm looking for. Is I want to be
exactly,
able to talk. I want to see the result. I don't want what the LLM's saying it's doing
Exactly,
in the screen.
yeah.
I just want it to, if I'm asking it to draw something,
Yeah.
I want it to draw it
Yep.
on the screen while I'm talking and say, like Tony Stark and Iron Man, right?
Exactly.
Throw a little bit of Fire Engine Red into that, right?
Exactly.
You know,
Getting the idea about it. Yeah.
and let me see it, and then go, no, you know what? I didn't like that. Take it
Take
back.
it
a
back.
step.
Exactly. Yeah. That's why I'm auto linking.
And we're. I mean, we are right there on it.
Exactly.
It's just about there.
I might be one of the first people to be able to push that, but either
Yeah.
way. But yeah, I'm full blown into it now. It's over 50% of my code is written by AI. It's not the system architect. It's just doing the labor.
Yep.
So I design the house, but it assembles the bricks for me.
Right.
You know
so,
what I mean?
And
Yeah.
that's why every startup founder I talk to, especially if they're software developers, is saying we're not firing anybody. If
Yeah.
anything, we're hiring more developers
Because we can do more.
because we're doing more. We're taking on more work. People want more of our stuff.
Exactly,
And we can finally say yes to it.
Exactly. Yeah, it's going to get pretty interesting. But all right, I probably should go.
Yeah, you
get
can go
a
get
demo.
yourself in the lunch line before
no
before
problem.
it's gone. So thanks, Sonny.
But
It's
all
always
right,
a pleasure to
great.
talk to you.
I'll see you next
Everyone,
month.
go see Sonny's demo. Get down here. That'll be starting at 1:15 with Josh Stacy's demo time. So get on down here. Next round of talks is starting in not quite half an hour, 1:15. So do we have someone who's... Hey, how you doing?
What's up, man?
How you been? Thanks.
Good, man. How are you
Good
doing?
to see you. Jump in the seat.
What's going on?
Just doing the live stream every month like we do.
Beautiful. I just met some very interesting person named Sophia Monroe.
Yeah, she's okay.
She's okay.
She's okay.
She's all right. Yeah, don't let her hear you
Tell
say
everybody
that.
who you are and what you have going on.
My name is David Gleason. I'm a writer, director, producer of Atmos Forces, the movie, and now the video game is under development.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, so
Because it was just about a year ago, I think we had you on talking about it. I don't know if Sophia told you, I'm executive producing films now.
no, she
Yeah,
didn't.
So
wow.
I'm a hired gun. If you need some help, let me know.
Hey, you're already on the list. We haven't even started doing what we said we're going to do, but now we're ready. Got some very interesting people coming to town next week.
I probably got some folks to introduce you to. So let's get caught up on where
Wonderful.
you are with the project, what's going on with it, and let's get everybody caught up.
Okay, so since we talked last, we finished a 3-minute teaser proof of concept, and it was cool, but it was live action.
Yep.
Right. And so since then, everybody kept bugging me like, "You gonna do AI? You gonna use AI? Are you using AI?"
Did
Yes.
you meet PJ?
No.
He's doing a AI film thing for the third round of talks today.
Oh, really?
Mike Wilson's talk is going to be AI film stuff today.
It's huge.
Yep.
Right. And I got people who finally. What I did was, I hooked up with Joseph Sharafi,
Okay.
Sharafi Entertainment, and a few other artisans that I knew, and we got together, communicated, talked about what I wanted, how to make it, and he was brilliant. And he made a concept for the proof of concept, and you can see it now. You maybe air it later on, but it's
Send us a link and we'll
Sure.
throw it into something. Whether
Sure.
it's
Yeah.
I think since the last time you and I talked, I've started doing what I call the Monday show, which
Okay.
is a under 10-minute rundown every Monday of what's going on in the tech community in Las Vegas.
Nice.
So send me a link, and if it's something I can edit into our Monday show, I'll
Sure.
put it in there.
okay. Awesome, man. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're gonna like it.
I liked the first.
Yeah.
I liked the first one I saw
Yeah,
a year
now it's
ago.
like-
So yeah.
It's crazy.
So what's the concept now? Is it going to be all AI? Is it going to be live action with AI? Is it
This
going to be?
is the
Are you
challenge.
still working on that?
It's live action.
Okay.
The vision is still live action.
Okay.
But because we can enhance the CGI with AI, and we can also transfer the background sets and some of the settings by using Unreal Engine.
Yeah.
Unreal Engine transfers from a live action look to the game,
Yeah.
and also to now
Yeah.
animation.
You're building your game as you're building the movie. So
That's it. So it cut costs and yet enhance the project. Right. So another big thing we're doing is if you go to atmosforcesmedia.com,
Okay.
which is for the game, but it's also for animation looks of what we're doing. You'll see some new animation that we're doing. We may do an animation series.
Well, and I'll let you describe the concept, the world in a second, but
Sure.
that's what I understood was this was always designed to be an IP franchise.
Yes.
Not a one-off movie or even a series
Yes.
of movies. It was
Yes.
always designed to be, there might be a video game. There
Good
might be
memory.
an animated series. There might
Yeah.
be a comic book.
Dude, he remembers all that. I can't believe it.
I know. I can't remember anything else I do
Nice
on any,
job,
on any of
man.
my other podcasts, but I do remember this because it made
Yes,
such such an impact because it was about building the IP world and the people who inhabit that world, and then the projects were all how do we contribute to the world.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So-
Impressive, Skywalker.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay, so tell us
Yeah.
about the world because
Okay.
it's been like a year. So.
It has. So here's what's happened. Because it's kind of like when I first did it many years ago as a stage show. Because I did it. My degree's in theater. My background's in that first. There's only so far you could go on stage, right? Within a world that you build. Well, then as tech progressed, motion capture came into existence. Then you're like, okay, TV can do this kind of cool stuff, and now you can go a little bit to these worlds. Now that AI is what it is and helping CGI, now we can go like all kinds of different levels of heaven, all kinds of parts of the universe, and hell. So the world is, we can go to all of those places, and we do in the movie.
Well, and one of the fascinating things about when you build a world of IP, you can really think through strategically how you want to do it. I remember almost 15 years ago, Sci-Fi Channel had this TV show called Defiance.
Yes.
And it had a video game that went with it, and there was some other IP stuff.
Right.
And what they did was they didn't do the thing like a lot of video games do where you play the main characters from the show in the video game.
Right.
You were in a whole separate part of the world.
You get to play your own thing.
And there were times when those characters would kind of peripherally come into your life.
Absolutely.
And you might interact with them, or you might just know about what they're doing. And it matched up with events would happen in the show.
Right.
And then you'd get an update in the game of something that you weren't involved in what happened in the show. They
But
weren't
affected
involved
you
in what
over
you
there.
did, but it
Right.
affected you over there. Or,
That's right.
Right. So
Yep.
this is what building a world of IP allows you to do is you don't have to go, okay, we had a successful movie. How do we turn that into a successful video game? You can say our video game is a whole
Yeah.
separate thing in a separate part of the
It
world.
totally is. The part of the movie fits into this massive lore of the video game.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, man, it's crazy.
It's cool.
Yeah. So atmosforcesmedia.com. You can
Okay.
check out cool artistic stuff like that. Got great artwork from Freedom Ricardo and a few other artisans. A friend named King that's really good. And we got there's some people coming, and we have to get together.
We need to get together
We have
offline.
some big names taking a look at us right now
Okay.
because it's kind of cool and new and unique.
Well, and I think the approach for people who are watching where the film industry, the TV industry is going,
Merging.
I think your approach, even more so than a year ago, is really attractive
It rocks.
to people who are seeing where the future of these industries is going.
Absolutely. I'm going to send you some stuff. I got to
Please
get
do.
out of here.
All right. No, thanks for joining us.
Bless you and thank you very much,
No,
man.
and we will give you an update on what's going on with the timeline with these projects, and
Okay.
maybe we'll even let people know there might be some auditions,
Auditions, jobs.
and
Yeah.
crew jobs here in Las Vegas. For this.
Totally.
All right. Good
Everything's
going
going to be shot in Vegas.
always
All right.
love to hear that.
Have a good one, man.
Always good to see you, David.
Thanks, brother.
All right, thanks.
Okay.
All right, well, we got some stuff. All right, so what time is it? It is, it's just about 1 o'clock, so there still is a little bit of lunch out being served. So if you can get down here in the next 5 to 10 minutes, you can probably grab yourself a free lunch on Taverna Costera here at 3rd Street Vegas, on 3rd Street in downtown Las Vegas, the new home of Downtown Tech Alley, the third Saturday of every month, starting at 10 a.m. with the networking. We're already through our first rounds of talks. They started at 11 today. They wrapped up at 12:15. Then we went into lunch. In just a few minutes, we'll be starting the second round of talks. And let me tell you what is coming up. I know the first one we're going to talk about is demo time with our good friend Josh Stacy. And it looks like Sonny, who was just on talking with us, is going to be demoing one of his things at demo time. So if you're interested, if you heard Sonny talking and you want to see what he's working on, get on down here, get on down to 3rd Street Vegas on 3rd Street in downtown Las Vegas. Come down and see demo time and see what Sonny's got for us, among others. So that's demo time, hosted by our good friend Josh Stacy. User experience and product design with Abigail Otero. Always a great talk. I wish I could get to see more of these. And then our good friend Eric Lacasse is doing search engine optimization, but also more from the flavor of, excuse me, how your businesses get seen today, how you get found online today. Because it's all different than it was even just a few months ago. It's AI, LLMs, it's all changing the game. So get on down here. Eric is keeping his thumb on the pulse of what's going on with that, and he's got some great advice for you. I know I always love the advice that he gives us. Then the Las Vegas Python meetup with Adam Englander, and Jackson, who was on just a little bit ago, gave us a preview of what he's going to talk about today. So come on down for social marketing with Jackson Wright. Today he talked with us about setting up a podcast, using that to generate leads, generate business. So come on down and learn what Jackson has to offer. And then at 2:45 p.m., we've got the 3rd round of talks. 2nd round of talks wraps up usually about 2:30. We take about a 15-minute break, and then we get into the 3rd round of talks. And then it'll be Sin City Programmers with Justin Otero and our good friend Josh Stacy. And then we talked about it. Mike Wilson and PJ are going to be showing some AI films, talking about their experience with that. And hopefully David Gleason, who we just talked to, will jump in on that as well if he's able to. So that's what's coming up in the next couple of hours down here at Downtown Tech Alley. Again, if you are in Las Vegas and you're interested in drones, crypto, tech of any kind, tech startups, investing in tech startups, raising money for your business, access to capital, all the things that we've talked about, get on down here today. You've still got time to get down here. We're at 3rd Street Vegas in downtown Las Vegas. We're here the 3rd Saturday of every month. So if you can't make it today, we'll see you next month. And if you're coming to Vegas, if you're watching from somewhere else, and obviously you can't make it today, but you are coming to Vegas, and you can line your trip up to join us on the 3rd Saturday of the month at Tech Alley, we would love to have you. We'd love to have you come on the live stream and talk about the tech community or what you have going on in your community as well. So with that, I'm going to take a little bit of a quick break just to check some of the tech setup stuff here, and we will be back. Hopefully we'll have another guest for you to jump on in just a second. Hey, Justin, let me just check this real quick and we'll have you jump on. All right. Steve, how have you been?
Jason, my friend, how are you?
Good. I love getting you on here. What is going on in the world of crypto?
Well, first, I want to say, I know I've been coming to these events for a few months, but I finally got your Leadership Mindset podcast in my
cool.
playlist, and
Nice.
it is a wonderful podcast.
Oh, I'm glad you
are
like
a
it.
very good host. Your
I'm glad you
experience
like
shows
it.
there as well as it shows here.
Yeah, well, this is what I would do every day. I mean, I've said that on the podcast before. I've said it on here. I've said it on the Leader's Mindset of this is what I would do every day if I could just sit with people and have these conversations. This is what I would do all day, every day. But unfortunately, I've got a business and I've got to keep that running and make money. So
Right.
But we're getting stuff automated with AI, which gives me more time to do this.
But isn't your business part public speaking?
Yeah, I mean, so yes, a lot of the business
The
is
guy
me.
never shuts up.
Not wrong. But that's what a host has to do. He's got to keep it moving.
You're a great host, man. 'cause
Thank you. I
you've
appreciate
gotten
that.
me out of some corners a few times.
Good. I'm
Yeah.
glad to hear that. I'm
You've
glad
cured
it's
my
helpful.
brain farts, you know.
I'm glad it's helpful. So I appreciate the kind words. But yeah, that's what it is. It's about getting the information out, having the conversations, and so the whole business is geared around whether I'm coming to do a workshop at your company, or I'm sitting doing a one-on-one interview with someone, or creating educational content, or just sitting having a coffee conversation with someone. It's all built around having the conversation. So
Yes, it is. And like this event too, you know, you walk up to anybody or sit down, and we're having lunch right now. So you grab a plate. Oh my God, I don't know anybody who's sitting down right
Yep.
now. You sit down at any table, listen in, and you learn so much.
it's great. And that's one of the great things about Tech Alley. When I get up and do my announcement about what I'm doing here, I'm usually the first person that James brings up. And I always ask people, who's here for the first time today? And I would say probably about half the hands shot up. So a lot of new faces, and it's really, really great. I hope everybody's making great connections today
Yes.
because we have a lot of new faces, and they are enthusiastic. And I hope I hope everyone who's been coming for months or years is connecting with all these new folks, because they look like they're really eager to connect.
Right, right. Well, I've made a couple connections today myself. Jerry over there has a nice little movie with these little promo cards going on. I don't know if you talked to him yet or not. See if I can find it. Here we go. He basically goes and gives a history of
No, we have not connected yet.
unenslaved, the history of the unenslaved in the Americas.
Oh, wow.
So from 1619 to 1865.
Okay.
He's putting together a little docuseries.
Oh, cool.
So
well, I would love to talk to him,
I'll
because
send
I
him
am.
over there for
I
sure.
don't know if we talked last time. You and I talked. I am producing films now, so anyone
really?
who's working on a
Nice.
film or working on some kind of project like that, I'd love to talk to them. So
Absolutely. You know, I'm a cameraman myself.
I didn't know
and
that.
Previous videographer.
I
Yep.
didn't know that.
I make
yeah.
more money just running the camera now, so I don't do the videography thing anymore. But I do have some equipment. Still,
Yeah,
so.
no. Well, we may, if you're open to work, we may have some stuff for you. We have a couple of young, fresh directors.
Nice.
Who are not cameramen and have not been DPs before.
There
And
we go.
And whether it's a DP or a second camera, we
Yep.
might need some help.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, get a hold of me. You know,
I will, for
I
sure.
do have. I went to a local libertarian meetup last night and
Mm-hmm.
made a couple personal obligations to a few of the candidates to help them out with their campaigns.
Okay.
But you know, summertime's generally free for me. So, but so you were asking about crypto, and of
Yeah,
course,
what's
Ve-
going on?
Vegas Crypto Group is here again today at the end of the day, 2:45.
Yep, we had PJ joined us.
Oh, beautiful. Yeah, PJ's
So we got
great.
a preview of
Another
what we're going to get to
filmmaker.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah,
nice. I'm gonna have to listen to that podcast and find out.
yeah.
Anyway, so I'll probably be presenting a little bit today as well. And you know, I always talk about getting the businesses on board with crypto. And so actually, because I was, if there's time, I'll be doing a presentation today. Because of that, I've been building a new presentation more focused on businesses. I've done previous
Okay.
presentations based on decentralized,
Yep.
decentralized, and trying to explain all the basics of crypto. And then another one is just like a little loop that I do pre-show. But the last couple of days, I've been working on just for businesses only. And in the process of these things, you know, it's a project. So you start out with a blank slate, and you start throwing ideas up, and then you start gelling those ideas together with my little PowerPoints, you could call them. Anyway, so at the end, I'm closing it up, and I'm trying to get a summary on things. And one of the ideas, or maybe it was the intro, it occurred to me about how this all kind of played out, you know, whereby we all happily pay 4% extra for everything now, you know, via credit
Not
card.
happily.
Well, most people are just completely ignorant of it. So as long as they're getting the product, they're happy. That is
Not
the-
happily. It's just it's a conscious choice. Just because I make a conscious choice doesn't mean I'm happy about it.
Remember, people, cash is king. Cash is king. If you can, tip your servers in cash.
Yep.
If you can, paying with cash doesn't matter so much anymore. But there are plenty of vendors out there right now who do give 3.5% and 4% discounts on your
Yeah,
bill.
there are.
And
Make good conscious choices. No, I'm not judging your choices. Just make sure you're making conscious choices.
exactly. So, as I mentioned, the 4%, which is a ballpark average rate. It's a little bit less nowadays. It's closer to 3% in today's day and
That
age.
depends on who your processing people are. But
Right. But
if
definitely.
you're high risk, it might be higher than 4.
Oh, really? See,
If you're a high risk business, it might be higher than 4.
I've been surveying a few businesses, but honestly, most of my information comes straight from the internet.
Mm-hmm.
But
No, it's about 3.8, 3.9 for most businesses.
really,
Yeah.
okay. I went to both Clover and Square
Mm-hmm.
websites, and they are in that 2.6, 2.4. I think
Yep,
is the lowest, plus 10 or 15 cents.
That's usually
For the
that's
low end.
usually the deal. Yeah.
Yeah. And of course, then that 10 cents vary. It either really bites into that $2 sale, or it's
Mm-hmm.
hardly noticeable on the $100 sale. But that 2.5% is noticeable on a $100 sale.
Yeah,
You know?
absolutely.
Anyway, so of course, one of the benefits of cryptocurrency is that there are no transaction fees when you use it properly. There are services out there who usually charge you about 1 to 2%, which is still about half of what you're paying with the credit cards. But the way I like to show people is how to do it. So very, very minimal, 0% if they do it themselves. You know, if I help them out, I'm kind of working on that fee structure, but it will be low. But the interesting thing was, while I was putting together the intro, it occurred to me that 4%, you know, the whole it bled into society pretty strongly in the mid 90s
Yep.
when debit cards became popular. Because
Absolutely.
when credit cards was whatever was available, not very many people like using credit cards. If you had a credit card back then, you generally had to pay a monthly fee as a consumer. You generally had to pay a monthly fee, so that would cost you. And if you didn't pay the monthly fee and you just used it, you still generally got caught eventually, just like today, paying some interest at some point in the game.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah. I mean, I remember even as a young officer in the Air Force, I had credit cards. I probably until the mid 2000s, I used my credit cards to buy things like plane tickets. You know, a TV, right? Anything that you didn't want to carry that amount of cash around was what you used a credit card for until probably about 2002 or 2003.
Exactly. So this is that recent. And then the 2008 financial crisis came, and businesses, I know several businesses that were cash only. They had an ATM there and they let you spend your $7 or $8 to get $20 out of the machine, but they got cash and they got cash only. And while they still have these ATMs, they also accept credit cards and stuff, which was a necessity during the recession because
Absolutely.
nobody had any money.
Nobody had money,
Right.
So they had to buy things on credit.
Which is its own problem, but that's not this discussion.
Again, not judging anybody's choices, just make conscious choices.
Exactly. Thank you. Yeah. So it's kind of interesting to put it in that perspective. And then, of course, everybody here, almost everybody here might have been, or not everybody, but 50% of the crowd here, and at most of these networking events nowadays, because of just time, were like maybe 5 or 6 years old during the financial crisis, and their whole life has been Apple Pay. My own children had video games, and they'd go to the Kmart and buy gift cards with their Christmas money so that they could buy stuff online. And if only crypto had been out, like just 5 or 10 years earlier, a whole different world would be out right
absolutely.
now. Pre-PayPal, it would have just been a whole other dynamic. But things move in fast, and then, of course, the banking system is still trying to keep up, and they're lowering the rates to be competitive with crypto. And so, but if you use crypto independently and in a self-custodial manner, the fees are incredibly low, and I've studied many ways for businesses to do this. So what it gets down to is that 4%, I figure your average business is making $1 million a year, you know, so that's $20,000 a year, or even $40,000 a year that they'd be saving. I'm trying to be realistic with the numbers, so I keep it on the lower end, $20,000 a year, which is easily a part-time employee or a brand new car every 2 years for the business owner, right? And of course, as you were talking about not using your credit card until the mid 2000s, that means that was about the point in time when we all kind of acquiesced to the fact that we're going to pay a 4% tax on everything. So initially, the businesses absorbed the cost, but it didn't take long for them to just dump it all on
now
us.
it's just passed on.
Exactly. So it would help our economy so much that medium
Not Leduc Leadership and Media Group. If you buy something from me, if you pay me to show up at your thing or do a workshop with you, I don't charge you any extra if you pay with a credit card. I absorb it.
Wow.
Because I know how to build my price structure to provide value to a customer and still make money.
I think that's how the restaurants look at it now too.
Because I went to business school, although they didn't teach me that. I just, I can do math, right? I understand providing value, and I understand I don't need to extract every cent of profit out of my customers.
You need to make the customers happy.
Absolutely.
Sure. Yeah.
I need that. I need them to feel like our relationship is a win-win.
And you definitely are that mindset for sure.
I can't do it any other way.
Right. Lucky for you guys, I like to give things away. So until I get a fee structure going on here.
Let's hear about it.
Yeah, right. Well, the fee structure's working on it. I'm not going to mention any numbers right now, but they did start rolling into my head for the first time recently. So things are progressing because I'm actually finding vendors who are more interested in this. I've got my local mechanic.
Okay.
I've been hitting them up for a few months, and I think he's getting closer to that recognition of not paying those transaction fees because they've also got a gas station.
He's got to be.
Right?
Right.
I mean, that alone would put his daughter to school, through school, saving that money. And then the Goat Bar, where the Vegas Crypto Group meets often, we did it. I think I said this last time. We did a sample transaction, but I haven't had time to get back and complete the process. But anyway, getting back to the dynamic of that 4% tax. the median American income is about $81,000 a year. 4% of that is $3,280. Now, as a business person, wouldn't you like to have your customers, to have each and every one of your customers that walks through your door every day, wouldn't you like them to have another $3,000 a year, $3,200 in, what did I say,
$3,280
a year that they can spend at your business and your neighbors' businesses? That would enrich our neighborhood so much.
Speaking of a win-win.
That's how I look at it. You know, we live in a world where the big companies have all the money. The Walmarts, the Targets, the Citibanks, they get all the money. Your local business is out there working its hardest, and many businesses are doing pretty good. But every advantage helps, and that 3280 in your pocket would be incredibly helpful.
I have a million questions for you, and I think I'm going to save some for the next time we talk, so you can work through some of this a little bit.
Okay.
But the question I have right now, for a business that is interested in this, because I know as a business owner, before you jump into anything, whether it's a new software system you're using, a new marketing company, whatever it is, there are things you need to do to prepare your business to go do that. So what does a business need to do to prepare to shift to being able to take crypto as a payment?
They need to download a cryptocurrency wallet.
Mm-hmm.
I recommend the Edge wallet. It is a hot wallet, but
explain what that means real quick.
Okay, so a hot wallet means that because it's generally it's a wallet, it's a phone wallet, so it's going to have to be held on your telephone or your cell phone. A hot wallet means that the private keys are feasibly accessible via the internet because they're held in an internet connected device. A cold wallet would be a device that's not connected to the internet, whether it's a piece of paper or whether it's a hardware wallet like a Trezor or a Ledger. Ultimately, unless your security threat is very high, it's really not a huge worry. And of course, you can always transfer your funds from the hot wallet to a cold wallet, which is recommended when your funds get sizable.
Okay.
But if you're a business and you're accepting cryptocurrency these days, I'll be honest with you, you'll be lucky if you get $1,000 worth of payments in cryptocurrencies in a month, at least for the time being. I'll speak of something else shortly, some new news.
I have way more questions, but go on.
So it's not like everybody in the world is going to be paying you with crypto, but you will be attracting new customers and you will be creating an access for the ecosystem. You'll be creating the egg for the ecosystem versus the customers being the chicken. They need which doesn't even make sense. But anyway, you get what I'm saying? They need somewhere to spend their money.
You're fine, because I can tell that our business owners and entrepreneurs are getting it, because when you're talking about the hot wallet, what every business owner and entrepreneur who's watching this understood, and I understood, was, okay, this helps me with cash flow.
It does.
I need, because as a business owner, cash flow, revenue's great, profits are even better. Cash flow is the most important thing. It is the cash coming in, cash that I can put out to do something else that's going to make me more money later. So that's why you need a hot wallet. You also need to have a plan for how you're going to store in that cold wallet. And then the final thing, and we'll let you get back to it, is if you have a high risk, cybersecurity risk, talk to us. We can connect you with someone who can help reduce your threat service on cybersecurity. We know a lot of people who can help you with that, so you don't need to be afraid of this.
And fortunately, the tools I use don't allow anybody to have access to your crypto funds other than yourself or whoever you give the keys to. So the reason I promote the Edge wallet for this is because they've got some great tax tools built into their system that document when the transactions were. You can give that to your tax guy or run it through your tax software. And so it was really business friendly like that, you know?
Yeah. So what I just heard is the two most important things of a business owner. One, I can maintain my cash flow to be able to pay bills and to be able to invest money in other things that are going to make me more money. And two, I'm not going to get into tax trouble on this.
Exactly. And there's a couple different ways to handle the tax trouble and the volatility of cryptocurrencies. You can do stable coins or convert to stable coins immediately. That's a subject to talk about one-on-one. By the way, it's cryptoiscash@proton.me.
That's how you know Steve is a real tech guy, because it's at proton.me.
Right?
It's not a Gmail. It's at proton.me.
And thank God for the Proton environment growing the way it is. It's worth the money I spend.
Yeah.
But they do have free products. And then, of course, the others, for your information, the basic method goes like this. On your POS you're using right now, you would type it in as a cash transaction. If you can add another thing, maybe saying crypto, and then you would know how to reference that. But the crypto accepting part of the process also documents the transactions, and you can do a report on that at the end of the night.
Yep. So POS system, something you need to think about. Can I add a different kind of transaction? And how am I going to train my employees to make sure I get it right? That's a little leadership stuff I snuck in on you. I know it's a tech day, but I'm sneaking in leadership on you.
And I really appreciate that. And really, so far the responses have been positive on how it works.
I bet it is.
With Clover, it's very easy to set up the additional payment method. Very easy. It takes a couple seconds. I don't know other crypto things like Toast. I really need to get more information on Toast and how that works. Square already accepts Bitcoin. And what's the other one? I mentioned Clover, Square,
Stripe.
I believe Stripe already accepts Bitcoin too, but I don't know if they're doing it for businesses just yet.
Okay.
But it's all very easy once it's set up, and it's not that difficult to set up, but it can be time consuming, and there's little details that just have to be done. It's not an incredibly difficult thing. You could do it yourself or have me do it. Yeah. So I think the next thing I wanted to move on to, having talked about Square, is that I think it was back in November, Square POSs allowed their customers to add Bitcoin Lightning acceptance to their POS. At the end of this month, March 30th, Square is making an automatic choice for clients, for customers. So when you go to a business and you make your payment via Square, the Bitcoin will automatically pop up. You can pay in Bitcoin, only Bitcoin, because that's how Square is. But the business owners can opt out of that. And I'm guessing that their default would be to accept the Bitcoin and then automatically convert it to fiat. But
that's up to you as a business owner. There are pros and cons to each of those.
It is. So it goes either way. But again, that's discussions for other times. But I think those are the two main points: the big news from Square, and then the fact that I'm actually moving forward with my plans, and I've made some time to do that.
So one more question, and if you want to defer this till next time we talk, because you want some time to think about it, I'm cool with that. I'm a business owner. I decided I want to take crypto. I have customers who are new to crypto. How do I help them transition along to that?
That is a tough one.
Okay.
And it's probably next on my list.
All right.
Too. So
I like it.
thank you.
I like
Thank
it.
you.
I think that's the so Steve told you about Edge Wallet. Go check that out. That's your homework.
That's found at edge.app. I
Yep.
do want to warn you, if you just type in Edge Wallet, there may be an imposter. Do not touch that.
Okay.
Edge.app, and they have a little green logo.
Okay. Edge.app, not the others. And then Clover was the other one. Do your homework, check on that. And then if you're learning about this and it sounds good, connect with Steve. And then we will talk about at some future date, how do you get your customers comfortable with, because not everybody's already is invested in crypto, and you don't want to lose a sale because it's hard for them to get to crypto in your shop, right? So coming soon, we will have that conversation for you.
I will say, as part of my education, I do concentrate on teaching the people that come to the meetups that I speak at how to use crypto as money. That is a big part of what I do. So I'm working both ends of the
It's the next logical step. Crypto's been amazing. We're seeing people using it as investments, stores of value, that kind of stuff. To really get it to take off, we got to get people using it as real currency every day. And Steve's fighting the good fight on that.
XMRbazaar.com is a wonderful Monero-based eBay style site. Not auctions, just items for sale. You can make an offer, but it's a great site. Great products on there. I think they've got about 7,000 or 8,000 products right now, and it's always growing all the time. And they accept Monero, but it's just one of the best crypto paying sites for those who already are into crypto.
Sounds great. So as always, do your homework, be smart, make conscious choices, and if you've got questions, reach out to Steve.
Some of the greatest advice I've ever heard. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, sir. It's always a pleasure to talk to you. I hope we'll have you back next month to fill us in on what we asked you.
And I hope I have some good information.
All right. And if you need more time, we'll give you more time.
Thank you.
All right. Thanks, Steve. Mr. Wilson, put your butt in that chair. I know it's not time for your talk yet, so I know your talk's not for another hour.
Tech Alley, 30 gas. Steve do his presentation. If this wasn't enough, come see Steve do his
So
presentation.
we have had quite a few of the Vegas crypto group stand with crypto crowd on already today, because we had Steve and we had your friend PJ came on
Oh, I love it.
and told us about what he's working on and going to be sharing with I think it's part of your talk later today, right?
That's right. That's right.
So yeah, it's been a crypto and film day
I love to hear
here.
it.
It's been great. So
I'm so happy to hear it. Tech Alley has been so great to facilitate this. We have more than just a culture here in Las Vegas that's starting, and I kind of wish we had a name for Tech Alley. People who come to Tech Alley, like techies, or I guess it's already taken.
that's a
Tech Alley guy.
hey,
you know?
if you're watching, put in the comments what you should, because you know, like, I don't know if you watch the Oak Island show about the treasure hunting on Oak Island. Okay, we'll talk about it offline. That they don't need to hear about that. But they call their fans acorns. So I think what we need is something. What would you call the people, like, and not gross derogatory names? Thank
Let's keep
you.
it
Let's
G-rated.
keep it PG-13
Yeah,
at least.
at least, right? PG.
But yeah, like what should we call the fans of Tech Alley, the people who participate in Tech Alley? What would be a cool name for us?
I really like that, and I love that the power of the community watching can help determine that.
Yeah.
And so we'll propose this. I'll propose this amongst many Tech Alley members and attendees.
We'll pitch
you know?
them stuff and we'll test it out. Just like in true tech fashion, we'll move fast, we'll break things, we'll pitch something, we'll see how it works, and if it's not working, we'll try something else.
I love it. And in addition to that, this particular Tech Alley, we are having AI generated films that I know you talked to PJ. If you're not, guys aren't familiar, PJ runs AI Film 3 out of Phoenix, and they do these AI generated film awards and different festivals. And it's gone very well. And these films are stunning and they're really incredible. People put a lot of work, a lot of time, energy, effort into making these. And I understand that it's all AI generated, so that may be off-putting to some people. But at least don't knock it till you try it. Take a look at what's happening. I think it's worth it.
And I think there's such a future for the hybrid of traditional film with real actors, real locations, and adding the AI in. And I can't wait. The AI Film Awards are going to be here in a month or two.
That's right.
So I got to get signed up and show up for that. And then I'm already bugging PJ to come do one of his workshops here in Las Vegas. So.
Oh, it's going to be great. We are going to do a ton of workshops, I think, with PJ. We're going to continue to work with him. And this arts district in this area is really growing. And so I love to continue to attract people down here and give them a reason to come down here. And I think that's a reason.
I think there will be people in our local film community who are resistant. There'll be people in our local film community who are hell yeah. So let's get those workshops on the book, and we'll get people to them.
Yeah, you can count on it, and you can count on us being here represented at Tech Alley. At least for the next few years.
Every third Saturday of the month at 3rd Street Vegas, on 3rd Street in downtown Las Vegas.
That's right. And of course, I do events all around town during the course of the month. We have our first Wednesdays. Thank you for talking about that.
Web3 Wednesday, every first Wednesday of the month at Loaded Empanada still, right?
Boca Park. You got it.
Yep.
You got it, guys. Come out and see
I was
us.
writing Monday's script yesterday, so.
Oh man, I really appreciate it. You're doing a great job on that.
We appreciate you guys for having the events. If we don't have the events, people can't show up to events, right?
Let's talk about that with the community, because guys, nothing will replace. We're glad you're watching now, but nothing replaces the in-person experience.
Yeah,
really, we can do Zoom meetings and online stuff, and that's important and good. But nothing will ever replace this. And I talked to more than a few people today. I said, can I follow you on Instagram? They said, well, I don't do Instagram. I don't do social media. Of course, they're probably better off for it, to be honest with you.
Pros and cons.
But there's no way for them to see the videos and pictures we do and the things, show them what we do at our meetups if they don't have social media. So it's kind of hard to access people sometimes. Social media isn't the be all end all when it comes to advertising, when it comes to meeting people. Actually coming out in the real world is how it used to be done. And
let's be honest, in a lot of cases still is, right?
It is 100%,
the experience is not the same. These conversations, yes, we could do these remotely. They're not the same.
No.
If we weren't down here doing this live stream today, we wouldn't have had PJ, because we wouldn't have met him. We wouldn't have gotten to see Steve again.
No.
When you do these remotely, you got to plan them ahead of time. You got to line up schedules. You got Sonny's back from Colombia. Sonny came down and sat down with us for a little bit. So I didn't even know Sonny was back from Colombia. So
how about it? And so these are the sort of spontaneous meetings that you have when you come out and join the people. Our meetups are a lot of fun, by the way. Not only are there educational meetups and workshops and things we do here at Tech Alley, We also do art shows. We have karaoke. We have bingo. We have trivia. So it's not just it's not just tech. It can't be, guys. It would be
you
too
guys
dry.
you guys do a lot of fun stuff. You did a thing earlier this month or maybe last month. Oh, and I'm blanking on it with the women's group.
Oh yeah, well we had women's night, and we had a great, incredible turnout.
But there was a group you sponsored that with
Kayak Club.
Kayak Club. That's what
right.
it was.
That's right. So all sorts of events, right, guys? It's not just come talk about crypto. It's not just a sausage fest. It's really a good variety.
They're bringing the ladies.
We bring the ladies because we have a great time, though. I mean, everyone
Yeah.
has a good time with music and great talent, and then great connections and just good people. So when I started this 7 years ago, that was the goal: knowledgeable and friendly people. And one of the side effects of that I've noticed is there's a lot less scammers coming to our meetups. They come and they never stay because people are so knowledgeable and so friendly. They can see right through the scams. And I've built something that is long term, that's lasting. So we repeatedly have these meetups so that we're open to everyone. We get about 30% new people every meetup, and we have a great time. Steve comes out to the meetups. He's going to be doing a great presentation. Him and I were talking. I'm not sure if he covered this with you already, but you can pay for your AI with crypto. So you don't have, it's less KYC, it's less obstructions there. I believe it's even more affordable to use crypto. So
In most cases, yes.
what a great combination. You can use crypto to pay for your virtual private server, put your Claude on there, put Claude code right on your virtual private server, pay for both of them with crypto, less KYC, everything flows nicely. And then you could even maybe program Claude to make that payment so that it never runs out of, it uses crypto to make payments, right? So it just becomes, I don't think you can have AI without crypto and crypto without AI. I think
Not anymore.
Those two are going to be merged together quite well. And so I'm excited. That's why I'm excited to be working with PJ and doing what we're doing here at Tech Alley.
Yeah. We mostly talked with Steve today about how he's helping local businesses set themselves up to accept crypto so that they're not paying anywhere between 2.5 and 4% credit card fees, and either swallowing those fees or passing that on to his customers. So we talked a lot about that. But this is why it's important to come down to Tech Alley, because we didn't get to talk with Steve about that part of it. But Steve is here. You could talk to Steve about that if you come down here today.
It's so important that people come and join us. We had at least 100 people, 150 people probably easy throughout the day, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. It's a long day. And so I asked people to come in at 10 because the announcements are at 10:30. You get to hear from all the different meetup organizers about what's happening, and you'll be able to kind of shape your day. And then before you know it, it's lunchtime. Lunch served by Taverna Costera, Chef Chris, absolutely incredible.
What was for lunch today?
We did. He made some amazing chicken, a great pasta dish. The garlic bread is incredible, and then the Caesar salad. I mean, can you really? Can you beat that? I don't think you can.
And it's always delicious. Chef Chris he's a genius.
He's great.
I'm just going to go out on a limb and say it. Chef Chris is a genius.
When it comes to food, 100%, I can promise you that, because the flavor is on point. And so we did a short interview with Chef Chris. We've been doing a little man on the street type style interviews.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. So we'll put those out on social media, right? So I'll make sure everyone's notified.
If you have any really fun ones, you want me to throw them into the Monday show, let me know.
Oh, cool. I will let you know. Absolutely. I do
Send
appreciate
me
that.
either send me a link I can download it, or send me a copy.
Yeah.
And I'll plug some of them in to the end of the Monday show.
Well, that'd be great. Yeah, I would really appreciate that. We got a chance to talk to Chef Chris from Taverna Costera, which is incredible. We talked to, of course, Joshua Levitt, organizer here, Tech Alley. Amazing, incredible. Going on 5 years.
Yeah, it'll be 5 years in April.
April or May, yeah.
I think it's April. Yeah, it's really hard to believe that we're coming up on 5 years.
It's consistent. It hadn't missed one.
Haven't missed
Saturday.
1 month.
Nope.
We didn't miss a month. The month back in the fall where we got crazy wind and rain.
It was wind and rain,
and we didn't miss a month when we had to change locations a couple of months ago. So
and it seemed like the rain lightened up a little bit. It wasn't too bad. But
it wasn't as bad as they said it was.
It was not terribly pleasurable either. But it's nice. And then I see you've moved inside. I love this location here for the podcast. It is getting warm outside. I don't know if the equipment can handle it.
We were unsure. We were gonna try, and because the Earth tilts as it moves around the sun every year, it was going to be directly overhead. So we were concerned. We were concerned about people sitting out there, but we were also concerned about equipment. And we said, well, there's these windows here. We can still get the same background, but be inside. And this has worked out really great today. Every time you move to a new location, you worked on film stuff. The light is different. The setup is different. The power outlets are different. You have to. It's kind of like starting from scratch on setting up, even though you've done it a million times in other locations before. So we were I like to try to get us going so we can turn the camera and get the announcements. but we didn't get that done today. But we were right on time when announcements were done. We were on and live. So
You know, you do a lot of work, so you should be commended. This is a lot of equipment, guys. If you could see the backdrop here, the amount of equipment that he lugs from his car to this location. Of course, everyone likes to help, but still, you do a lot of work, sir. And so
yeah, we
thank
do.
you.
And we had a
This is
ton of help
huge.
today. Sophia was here. Dave Berlin was here. We had a ton of help getting this set up today.
Let me just say, there are very few professionals that would voluntarily do what you're doing. This is Jason. This is incredible. So really, really appreciate it. This is a long set. I mean, you could imagine anybody like Johnny Carson sitting down for 8 hours straight or whatever it is to talk to people. Now,
No,
I'm surprised you
we
still have a
do like
voice.
3, and it's. I mean, but I love it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing it if I didn't love it. So
Well, you could tell, and it shows through your work and the professionalism that goes through here.
Yeah.
Vegas is a growing community, and that's what's interesting is I think we have the best opportunity we've ever had in our entire lives right now to get into tech. And it really doesn't matter what it is, if it's a small business, if it's a laundromat, or if you're a lawyer, doesn't matter what you're doing. Even for your personal life, now's the time to get your hands around what is out there in tech, and Tech
Yep.
Alley is the place to do it with the best community. And of course, there isn't any other. We do our meetups, of course, they're during the course of the month, but everyone comes to Tech Alley.
Tech Alley is the place everyone is at, right?
Yeah.
You've seen the people we've had in the live stream today. They will be at other events this week. You will be hard pressed to find them all at a single event each month, other than at Tech Alley. And you're only getting to know a fraction of the amazing people who are here, right? There are still people who I'm trying to like, you got to come on camera. And like, I don't know. I don't know if I want to be on camera. So there are amazing people here. But this is the place you will find them consistently together every month.
Yeah, and it's all faces of tech and even entertainment, which is why I'm so excited about the event we're doing today. We're actually showing a film on the movie theater screens. So, all the theaters are filled with amazing workshops and presentations, and they do great. And it's cool to see them on the big screen, by the way. That is so neat. But to actually be able to show a film.
It's a lot different. I worked on a couple of film projects last summer, and they were all shown. One of the film festivals was here. When you are in a project and you see yourself up on the big screen, there's nothing like it. Or in one case, it was just my voice. I heard it in the movie theater. Right? It's like you don't expect to be impressed. You're impressed.
It's impressive. It's
like you were
impressive.
there working on it the whole time, shooting and all that. And you don't expect to be impressed seeing yourself or hearing yourself on the big screen. I was maybe it's a failing of mine, but I was impressed with myself.
Believe me, you should be impressed. It is awesome to see things on the big screen, guys. That's another reason to come down to Tech Alley. The presentations are so thorough and so effective with those big screens on there. We absolutely love it. And so I'm excited about it. And again, I just want to remind everyone, if you want to join our events during the course of the month outside of Tech Alley and at Tech Alley, you can go check us out, vegascryptogroup.com. And we're on meetup.com. So just look up Vegas Crypto Group. And gosh, I hope you guys can come join us at one of our events. We have a great time.
Yep. Is Monday a Crypto Monday coming up, or is that the next week?
So thank you for asking. So we did suspend Crypto Mondays for now.
Oh, okay.
And that was
Now
only
I got
because
to change my script for the Monday show.
I apologize for making you change
It's
your
okay.
script. Thank you so much for doing
You
that.
always keep me updated on what's going on.
I try to. It's so tough. So many things happen so fast, just like technology. If you don't stop to look around, you might miss it. So not Crypto. We are bringing Crypto Mondays back in April.
Okay.
For a special Bitcoin edition. So that's worth mentioning to the audience. We have the Bitcoin conference coming up at the end of April, April 27th through the 29th. And we will be doing a Crypto Mondays on the 27th. That's a Monday.
Okay.
And we're going to have a great time with that. Our multi-chain Mondays
That's
was
the
a
one.
wonderful experience in Henderson. And so we service Summerlin area, right, with the first Wednesday, Web3 Wednesdays. And then we have the Goat Bar and other locations around town. But Henderson seems to get neglected, right?
Okay.
So it was great to see Josh open up Tech Alley to Tech Alley Henderson. I love what Lorraine is doing
really
in
great
Henderson.
event.
And that city is very supportive, equal to or greater than Vegas as far as, startups and entrepreneurs and tech, things like that. But I knew that Henderson had people that wanted to come to our meetups, and it's just so far to go to Summerlin. So it was nice to have those. We're going to bring those back, but we're just looking for a good location that's within Henderson. So we'll let you know.
And then
Thanks
do you
for
still
asking.
have the Tuesday thing?
Yes, our Tuesday, we do bingo, we have trivia. There's prizes, giveaways, food. It's a Taco Tuesday, and we also do some wings and some other great food there. And then just a great, knowledgeable, friendly community to kind of hang out. We've got the big screen, so we show different movie screenings and things like that. But yeah, this Tuesday we'll have a bingo night.
And that's every Tuesday?
It is every other Tuesday.
Every other Tuesday. That's what I thought. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Web3 Wednesday's coming up.
Well, yeah, it really is.
Can
It's
you
coming up fast.
can you give us a preview?
Yeah, so this Web3 Wednesdays at Loaded Empanadas. Shout out to Loaded Empanadas. You know, they're so fresh. The dough is so fresh, and the ingredients are so good that even if you get a fried empanada, which most people get, you wouldn't even know it's fried. There's not a drop of oil on it. It's like that. I don't know how they do it. It seems like it's baked. But the ingredients are great. The drinks are incredible. There's even some wonderful zero-proof drinks there. So, you know, anyone can have a good time. And that is Web3 Wednesdays at Loaded Empanadas. And this Wednesday, we will talk a little bit about some of the Clarity Act and some of the things that are happening with, you know, around the politics to try to keep innovation in America. Right now, we have the banks that don't want anyone to get rewards, but they're the only ones that can give rewards. And in crypto, you know, that would tie a hand behind our back. I mean, there's really no reason to do that, and it's unfair. It's not competitive. So we're hoping to get make sure that crypto can offer rewards just like banks can.
I was going to ask you what the new, you know, because we had Clarity Act last year. We had some of the other things, and things moved so far forward. And that's why Steve is able to kind of do the things he's doing with businesses now, as businesses are much more open to accepting crypto. But I knew there had to be more advocacy coming. So tell us about this. Is this is the next flag to plant?
Yeah, you know, we are fighting an uphill battle. But, you know, this is common in tech. I saw it with the internet, with the birth of the internet. You know, how do you regulate the internet? You know, I mean, that was tough. So I understand where they're coming from. But the bankers are so well ingrained that they literally live next door to some of these senators. And their kids have grown up together, you know, and now they're having grandkids together. And, you know, and they're just kind of part of the family. And so when this guy walks in and says, hey, I've supported you your whole career. I've given you all the money, you know, and all the support and everything you've wanted. And we live next to each other and our kids go to school, you know, and he say, hey, don't give crypto rewards. That's the one thing. Just do whatever. Let the kids play. Let them have crypto, but they can't have rewards. You know, it's unfortunate, but the senator's going to listen to this guy that, you know, he's been friends with for a decade.
Which is
you know,
which is crazy because the banks are phasing out rewards too.
Yeah,
the
they'd
banks,
love
the
to.
credit card
Yeah,
companies. So they don't want crypto rewards because they're phasing them out themselves.
Yeah, how about it? Yeah, and they know that this would be leverage against that. So their only argument, which is not accurate, is that there would be a deposit flight risk, that people would take their money out and it would collapse the banking system. That is not through every single bit of research we found. That is not true. It's not even close to true. That's not going to happen. Are you going to rush out and go move all your money? I don't think so. Not a lot of people are, but the right people will, and we should have it available to all the people. And this is why I love crypto, because it creates a more fair economic playing ground for everyone. And so what we're dealing with now, people pull the economic lever and other people suffer. And you know, and that shouldn't be how things operate. We need a fair level playing ground. Bitcoin gives us that. Crypto gives us an opportunity. Everyone. So it doesn't matter if you're the poorest man alive or the richest man alive. You're gonna benefit from crypto. That's it. We got to keep pushing legislation. While I have your attention, real quick, I would like to shout out Stanwood Crypto, our sponsor here. You go to stanwoodcrypto.org. You can give us your email address. That way we can just keep in touch with you. But every voice that reaches out really matters, and I try to explain to people how this works. If one person reaches out to a senator or a governor or their representative, it amplifies about 10,000, maybe 100,000 people, because they know not everyone is going to actually reach out. So they know if they get one person, that equals maybe 10,000 that agree with him or her. And so your voice really is amplified, especially now in this particular moment where we are fighting for our lives when it comes to DeFi and rewards and just having a more fair economic playing ground. And this is the time to get this done this year. If we don't, and we keep delaying it, America as a country will fall behind, not only just with tech, but just in innovation in general, right? So we have to have some innovation here in this country. We have to have some regulation around it. StanwoodCrypto.org is your place to go. Please check it out. Consider becoming an advocate today, because your voice really matters.
Okay. Yeah. If these issues around crypto are important to you, if the opportunities around crypto are important to you, get signed up with Stand with Crypto so that you can hear from them about what's going on, and then you can figure out how you want to help out.
That's it. And you'll find that there's grades for every single representative. So you can go in there and see, type in your address. It'll bring up your representatives. You can see what kind of grade they get. You know, we're lucky, Jason, here in Nevada. We have straight A's.
We have very tech forward representation at the federal level here in Nevada.
We really are. It's absolutely incredible, and we need it. and we need it. I'd love to see Vegas become a tech hub. So this has been my
We're
mission
working
for
on it.
years, right? And
We're
you're a big
working on
part
it.
of it. You're a big
We're
part of it.
working on it.
We're gonna get there, guys. And this is because
Hey,
we have the
we had a
support
company
of
go
Rose
public
Eds.
last year. We had a company raise $100 million in their Series A
happening.
round. It's happening.
Come on, Startup NV and so many other supportive the Innovation Center at UNLV. There's just so many here. And of course, they all come to Tech Alley, techalley.org.
They're all here.
Come out and join us. We have a great time here. But yeah, with Stand With Crypto, it's just it's so important to let your voice be heard, because you'd rather let your voice be heard than not. Like if you have a choice to say something and you don't say anything and then things go south, I mean, it leaves you kind of handcuffed, and we don't want that right now. So I just really encourage everyone to step up. Go to standwithcrypto.org and become an advocate. Help us out a little bit, and be a part of keeping innovation here in America. In the meantime, I see Steve's rumbling over there. He's getting ready for his presentation.
Getting ready for his talk. So
Yeah, and I've got my presentation coming up too.
yeah.
I'm
So
gonna get
well,
ready.
thank you for joining us. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you
And
so much.
we will keep letting everybody know what you have going on through the Monday show and talking to you on Tech Alley every month.
Well, it means the world that you support us like that. I really do appreciate it.
Happy to
Check
do it.
out Jason LeDuc on Instagram. And then is it LeDuc Leadership?
LeDuc Leadership. Yep.
LeDuc Leadership. Check them out.
All
Check
right.
them out. Great reels. Thank you. I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Whew. All right. Well, we are getting close to the end here, folks. I'm looking around to see if we've got anybody who's looking to come on the stream here. So yeah, we are getting close to the time where if we don't have anybody waiting to jump on the stream, we kind of wrap things up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I'm going to go grab a little bit of water. I'm going to come back. I will give you the rundown of what's happening right now and what's happening later today after we do that. And then we will see if we've got any more takers to come on. And if we don't, we'll do some wrapping up. All right, everybody. Well, I think we're hitting that time. We don't have anybody waiting to join us again. Thank you so much for joining us today at Live from Tech Alley. Hopefully some of you saw this. You're coming down today. We're going to come down next month. Remember, we're here the third Saturday of every month at 3rd Street, Vegas, on 3rd Street in downtown Las Vegas. Let's see. I do want to give you guys a rundown on what's happening. We're in the second round of talks right now. Remember, Tech Alley starts on Tech Alley Saturdays at 10 a.m. for networking. We do announcements. First round of talks starts at 11 a.m. Break for lunch at 12:15. We have a lunch provided. And then we get back to work at 1:15 in the second round of talks. We're in the second round of talks now. That should be wrapping up in about 20 or 30 minutes. So we're doing demo time with Josh Stacy right now. We're doing user experience and product design with Abigail Otero. Eric Lacasse, good friend of the show, is doing how businesses get found today. Adam Englander is doing the Las Vegas Python meetup, and Jackson Wright is doing the social marketing talk right now. And then at 2:45 will be the third round of meetups, Sin City Programmers with Justin Otero and Josh Stacy, and Vegas Crypto Group with Mike Wilson. And you guys got to see a lot of the folks who are going to be involved in that talk today. So thanks to all of our guests from coming on. We will see you next month. Have a great day. Do great things. Onward and upward.